morning. It's the Mike Missanelli Show, and it's, the weather broke a little bit. Nice and cool out there today. A nice day to talk some Phillies baseball and what they did yesterday, the trading deadline, and what everybody else did. And we're going to have to compare the contenders here with the moves that all of them made. The Phillies, out of the gate, grab a necessary guy in Johan Duran, which will really solidify their bullpen and I believe makes them a viable contender to get to the World Series. But then you look at some other teams, and you look at what the Mets did, and you look what the Padres did, and then you got to reevaluate it. So let's take first things first here. What will they do now with Harrison Bader, who was the second trade yesterday after Duran? What will their outfield look like? Now, there was some speculation that we talked about yesterday that Justin Crawford would come up and solidify center field. Then you can have a platoon situation in left field, and you would release Max Kepler. But that's not certainly going to happen right now, if it happens at all. So we'll see what happens with that. I guess they'll give Kepler a little more time to see if he can straighten things out, and that might be a move they make down the road, bringing up Crawford to change their outfield configuration. But there are three options right now. You're going to play Marsh and Bader in center field, and you would play Kepler and Kemp when Bohm comes back in left field. The second scenario is you would play Marsh and Bader in left field, bring Crawford up, DFA Max Kepler, or you would go with this: Kepler and Bader in center field. Kepler and Bader in left field platooning, and Marsh and Rojas as the same platoon in center field. So I bring in Ray Dunn here. Ray, the Harrison Bader thing, it's interesting because I think it's a very mediocre acquisition. It is a right-handed bat, and maybe there weren't many right-handed bats that they could acquire, although Ramon Laureano looked like a pretty good right-handed bat to me, and he went in another deal to the Padres. So what do you feel will happen right now?
Right now, I see this team going with a Marsh left field, Bader center field configuration right now. I think that's
on a regular basis. A regular lineup. Marsh will hit against left-handers, and Bader will be a full-time player.
I think so. I don't think they want to see him get less at bats after they acquire him, and I also think they have seen enough of Johan Rojas to know what he is at the plate. Maybe for Marsh, you see Kemp get some of those opportunities against lefties, just because that's what they've kind of branded Brandon Marsh as at this point, is a guy that can't play against lefties. He's hit better this season. Maybe they're going to give him more of an opportunity. I think they realize that the Kepler experience is what the Kepler experience has been. So I think today we're all just waiting to see if we're going to get that notification from PR that, hey, they've moved on and that's era is over for the Phillies. That couple-month stretch that we all watched here is done. But I think right now, if they're not going to bring up Crawford, it looks like a Marsh-Kemp left field thing and maybe Bader in center. Or maybe that's me just projecting on this outfield what I would do right now if you're not going to bring up Justin Crawford. I'm a little surprised that that's not the plan at this point. I guess they want to see more consistent ABs for Bader, for Marsh, and for Crawford, and they don't see that in the plans. But I think that's right,
because Dombrowski said, quote, he's going to play a lot. I don't know what that meant. Maybe it meant exactly what you're saying, that he projects as the full-time starter in center field for the time being.
I mean, do you need to see more Rojas? I know you personally don't.
No, two things can happen. Either Rojas goes down to AAA or they release Kepler, right?
Right. And if you don't think that Rojas is a benefit to you, like in terms of playing every day, you probably keep him for the defensive ability and for the fact that he could sub in there and run for you. Like, if you think at this point you know what he is as a hitter, you don't need to see him in a larger sample size. All right, then his role is here what it is. Like, he could stay for that reason until you bring up Crawford. Then you probably reshuffle the deck and he ends up going down to AAA. So right now, it would make more sense to move off of Kepler, just because I think that they see that he doesn't fit in their plans. He's already complained about playing time. I doubt he's going to be thrilled if they decide, hey, you're getting even less playing time right now. Like, is he going to be happy with being a fourth outfielder? Probably not. Is there any reason to keep him around if he's going to be the fourth outfielder? Probably
I guess
not.
The one thing he can't be is Kepler, Bader in left, Marsh, Rojas in center, because one of those have to go, right? That would be too many players to keep on the roster. Like, somebody would have to go now if they added Bader.
Yeah, someone has to go. Someone. Could it be just Weston Wilson going down? And they push this down the road?
That actually could be. Weston Wilson goes down. They could still keep Kepler Bader left, Marsh Rojas center.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I forgot about Weston Wilson, that he was even on the team.
Yeah, well, we've all tried our best on that one.
All right, so let's look at the bigger picture here. Because the Phillies hit a home run, I believe, but so did a couple of other contenders that are in that playoff six, including the Mets. So they add Mullins as their everyday center fielder, Ryan Helsley, a setup man for Diaz, and Tyler Rogers, who'll get at the right-handed hitter when they need it. Have the Mets improved more than the Phillies?
I don't think offensively they did much more than what the Phillies did, just because I'm not a big Mullins guy. But I don't think you can argue that their bullpen got better to the point where their bullpen was already, like, Diaz to me is pretty much at the level that Duran's been at this year. And if they improve their arms already by having a better bullpen, yeah, I think they improved more than the Phillies.
All right, how about the Padres now? Now, you were high on the Padres before yesterday. They grabbed Mason Miller to an already loaded bullpen. They grab another starter in Ryan O'Hearn. They grab a starter in Ramon Laureano, and they get a starter in Freddie Fermin. They got three starters and a lights-out closer.
Yeah, shout out to A.J. Preller for just being an absolute content machine. Like, that guy is insane. The fact that he goes for broke what it feels like every single trade deadline, to me, is absurd. But I think, yeah, you definitely look at what they did this deadline, and if you're worried about the year 2027, A.J. Preller isn't. And he just pretty much said, try and beat us. I've got this core. I believe in this core. I'm going to go do it. I think they got better, too. Again, offensively, there wasn't really an offensive move I saw that happened across baseball where I was like, wow, that blows me away. Like, we like Laureano, but if you want to talk about guys who have not been, like, career game changers at bat that have just had a nice season, he's had a really good season, but is he someone over his career that's shown you he's like some massive difference maker?
No,
really?
But he's a power hitter. He's got some home runs this year. I like Thunder in the lineup.
I know. I mean, he's got 15
They're
homers.
pretty good. I don't like the fact that they also have some players that can really bring you down for a lack of hustle and a lack of demeanor. But they're a solid team. I got to give them credit. So, right now they're probably going to rise. They win a lot of games because the Dodgers did nothing, and it looks like the Padres can gain on the Dodgers here.
Yeah, like if you looked at this deadline from the National League and went like your winners of the deadline, probably Padres, Mets, Phillies, and then everyone else. Like I think the Cubs did not address their biggest need in starting pitching.
They did nothing.
So they come out of this deadline a loser to me. The Brewers, I don't think, came out of this deadline a winner. And the Dodgers, to me, didn't do enough. Like, we're talking about light-hitting outfielders and right-handed bats. You were against Alex Call yesterday. Like, what really did the Dodgers do to make themselves that much better?
No, Alex Call's marginal.
The Dodgers are going to do the old cliche of, well, the real addition at the deadline was us getting healthy. Am I right?
Yeah.
And, by the way, Dombrowski doing that yesterday, please. I hate that. That is one of my least favorite baseball cliches in the world. The real addition is going to be the health and the real version of these guys.
Yeah.
That's not an addition. They were already here. We were already projecting Aaron Nola needs to be better. We projected a healthy Alec Boehm.
Yeah, Dombrowski gets away with a lot of BS. That's fine.
Across baseball, that's one of my least favorite things in the world. The real addition we got at the deadline. But to me, the Phillies probably are 3 in the National League in terms of who did best at the deadline.
Yeah.
And I put them behind the Padres and the Mets. And like the Padres, if you graded a decade from now, we'll probably talk about it differently. But for right now, for this one stretch run, yeah, I'd say they went for broke, and I think they're the winner this year of the deadline, and the Mets probably right there behind them.
All right, I want to know from Philly fans today where you think your team stands. Now that everything is shaken out, and there could be some additions that happen, waiver wire claims and such like that, but I don't think it'll be anything of significance. But right now, where do the Phillies stand? They have the 5th seed right now, and the Padres had the 6th seed, so that could change a little bit. But are you satisfied with what they did yesterday? I think the problem with this, they made the big splash, like they threw a boulder into a pond, and it made a big ripple, and then they skipped a rock. When they got Harrison Bader.
It's so funny you say that because I nearly put on the sheet this morning. If the Phillies had just done their moves in reverse, how would we feel?
Yeah, it would be a build-up. Be a better build-up.
Be like, oh, they did. If Bader's it, that's really disappointing. Then they go Durant. It's like, yeah,
they put a slow leak into beach football.
Yeah.
with playing by 5 o'clock, you got no more football. But
Yeah, I'm also curious when people yesterday realized it was over. Like, after they made the Bader move, I don't know how many people were like, oh, they still got a chance. They still got a chance. I know a lot of people holding out for Stephen Kwan. At about 3 o'clock, I was like, this does not feel like a day in which the Phillies are doing anything more.
yeah. So they got Harrison Bader and they got Johan Duran. So we'll talk about it. And also, we were going to have some highlights from Nick Sirianni. But Nick Sirianni, here's my spin, right? Nick Sirianni, no way he misses practice. No NFL head football coach would ever miss a practice because he's feeling sick. So this is my conclusion. What a cheesy way to get out of a presser. What a cheese. The trainers are working on him to see if they can get him ready for practice? Listen, I hope I'm wrong. Maybe he does have an illness and he's going to miss practice. But it seems like an awful cheesy way to miss a media session, Ray.
I'm just curious, what is he sick with? It's 10 minutes. Is he unable to speak? Did he lose his voice? Like,
come on, man.
I think he's
what happened to that dog mentality, Ray?
McClain put out, by the way, he's at practice. So he walked out to practice. He made it to practice.
I knew he would never miss practice, but he'll miss that damn media session. Too sick to face the music.
Was it at the point where he was just too late for it because they were working on him, and that he was like, you know what?
What do you have, an IV? Well, why couldn't he have the IV a little earlier so he could make the media session?
Wow, come on. Him being on time to a media session?
Here's the number to get in. 610-632-0975. It's the Mike Missanelli Show, the Big Friday Show. Let's hear from you.
Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts.
We're still
You know, I got a lot of social media inquiries about my quest to inherit 9 million euros, Ray. And I will have an update on this coming up because the man who sent me the original letter got back to me via email.
No way.
Yes.
Oh, I'm counting my $10.
Yeah. He got back to me via email, and I'll have to read the email to the folks a little later. You got to tell me it's a scam or not.
I'm so genuinely excited for this. This is the best Friday morning news I could have gotten.
He got back to me, and he apologized. He was on holiday.
He was on holiday?
He was on holiday, and he just got back in town and had a chance to answer his emails.
With all due respect, there is no holiday, vacation, time off in which I would take if 9 million euros were at stake.
Well, he's a broker, so he's probably got many accounts that he has to deal with, and he probably just wants to get away from it all.
Sorry, 9 million, nearly 10 million euros are at stake.
Are you still not buying this?
No.
You're still not buying it?
No.
All right, what? Listen, a little later I'm going to read the email directly.
Okay.
And then people can tell me whether I should pursue this or not. He still has not asked for a drop of money.
Really?
Not 1 cent has he asked for.
Huh.
Not 1 cent to keep the process going.
All right.
And he explained more about the engineer known as, what's his name?
Eldrick.
Eldrick.
Yes.
Eldrick Missanelli.
I'm invested, man. I've been thinking
coming
about
up a
this
little later.
consistently.
But before we hear from Mr. Flaubert, Arnaud Flaubert, let's hear from Dave Dombrowski. Because one of the things he said yesterday in adding an outfielder was to not move Harper or Schwarber. So let's hear Dave Dombrowski 16. Right.
Well, you dip your toes in everything. You can weigh the price of acquisition, and both players would be willing to do that. But really, our preference is to keep them at first. And I mean, Schwarber still goes out to left field, but Bryce has become a good first baseman. We like him there. Schwarber is a tremendous DH with moving to the outfield every so often. But our preference was really to keep him there because you also realize that you're talking about defensive aspect of the game. Who are you picking up? So we've talked about it here. You talk about, okay, if we get this guy from an offensive perspective, well, how does our defense look at that particular time? What adjustments we need to make? How good a defensive club are we? Do we suffer in that regard? So there really, we really didn't consider. We talked about it. They were open about it, but internally that wasn't our preference.
You see, that was a response to the people who think that Major League Baseball is like beer league softball, where you just throw guys at different positions. It doesn't work like that in the Major Leagues.
Yeah, but Suarez was at least rumored.
I get it, but see, there would have been only one position change. That would have been Schwarber playing left field. They wouldn't have had like this notion that Bone would go to first, Harper would go to the outfield, Castellanos would go to left. You know, that's what I was talking about. You can't mess up a team chemistry like that. It's not beer league softball where you can throw a little Janey in the right field.
And that also goes back to the point. I think you and I think actually throughout the entire rendition of Let's Fake a Deal, which rest in peace to just a tremendous segment.
It's over, yes.
What a fun 3 weeks we had.
Yep.
Just remember the good times. I don't think we ever entertained a deal here where we thought seriously that Harper was going back to the outfield. Because I think you and I very early on kind of saw that as a empty, I don't want to say an empty promise, but kind of an empty promise of oh yeah, I'll be ready to go to the outfield. They don't want to put him back in the outfield.
Yeah.
And I don't really think he wants to go back to the outfield.
No, he doesn't want, no matter what he said, people are, well, Bryce said that you say things for the good of saying things. Like, it is hard. He doesn't want to do that. Because here's the thing. Prideful guys like Bryce Harper don't want to be embarrassed in any form. And he knows if he goes back to the outfield, it'll be such an adjustment. If he messes up, it would be an embarrassment, and he would feel that embarrassment.
I think he's very conscious of his health at this point.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't think it's that thing that would be overbearing to his health to go back out to the outfield, but I think at this point he has it so much in his head that he needs to be healthy, and that first base is where he's gonna be healthy. And I think he sold the entire organization on that, and he sold himself on that mindset, where this is where I'm going to play because this is going to protect my health.
I got it. All right, let's go to the text board. And then I want to hear how Dave Dombrowski really pull the wool over everybody's eyes by getting Harrison Bader. So what are the text board people saying?
Bill in Upper Dublin. Wes Wilson, Dub, has a better ERA than Romano. DFA Romano. Keep Dub. Mop up time Dub.
Yeah, I don't think they'll have to keep him to pitch the ninth inning anytime soon. So it was nice knowing you, Dub. And Bill will give a testimonial to you a little bit later today at like 2:00.
Oh, you won't see him no more.
There's no way, by the way, that he's going to be able to have time to give the testimonial to Dub when he's going to spend all 4 hours praising Sirianni for battling through his sickness.
Battling through his sickness and
at practice.
And you're sucking it up. And with 15 minutes that he could have spent talking to the press, he used that time to get well. So I laud him because he does have a dog mentality.
Right, man?
Yeah.
Go.
Dog mentality.
Dog mentality.
Yep. Dog mentality.
James from Doylestown here. If you're not going to bring up Crawford, then Marsh in left, Bader in center. But if you do bring up Crawford, Bader and Marsh platoon in left, Rojas and Crawford platoon in center. Ooh.
What?
You had me there for a little bit.
You're not going to platoon Crawford with Rojas.
Had me in the first half there, and then you said Rojas and Crawford.
Get Rojas out of my sight. Hey, please. Just get him out of my sight. I can't take it.
I mean, there's no way we go into September and we don't see Crawford and we still have Rojas playing consistently, right?
I don't want to hear a collective groan when he comes up to bat in the playoffs because that's what you're going to hear. And then when he misses trying to bunt the first pitch. 610-632-0975. Back to our text board, back to the calls. More of Dombrowski, and a little later in the show, an update on my inheritance of 9 million euros, and also a comparative study that Jimmy Rollins is getting hosed by not being in the Hall of Fame. Forget about the Wall of Fame. He should be in the Hall of Fame, and I'll prove that a little later. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Deadline passes. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. After months of speculation, we finally got the answer to what the Phillies would do at the trade deadline. On Wednesday, the Phillies acquired Joan Duran from the Twins to be the team's closer, and then they followed that move up on Thursday by making a second deal with the Twins for outfielder Harrison Bader. Dave Dombrowski met with the media following the deadline and addressed what he thinks of the team at this point.
There was no stone unturned, but we felt good with our club. We didn't have a lot of gaping holes. Some of, again, our offensive improvements going to have to come internally.
We'll see if that's the case. The Phillies' new additions will be in uniform tonight as they open up a 3-game set with the Tigers at 6:45 with Ranger Suarez on the mound. Prior to the game, Jimmy Rollins and Ed Waite will be inducted to the team's Wall of Fame. Eagles, less than a week away from their preseason opener, return to the practice field today. Nick Sirianni was scheduled to speak with the media today. He was under the weather, however, did not speak with the media. He is out at practice as they begin practice at 10 o'clock this morning. This update brought to you by Audible. If you're stuck in traffic, why not unleash your adventurous side? Audible delivers thrills of all kinds with audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Start listening free with a 30-day trial at audible.com. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. A lot of texts. A lot of people participating on the text board today. And our number, of course, 610-632-0975. Before we get to those texts and our phone calls, I want to hear Dave Dombrowski talk about his acquisition of Bader and why he decided to go there. This is Dave Dombrowski, 17, Ray.
We expressed when we were talking about that, seeing if we could fold Bader into that deal that we made. And he said, well, I'd really prefer at this point to keep it separate because we got so many other conversations, which you could see he was not joking about. When I got up this morning, I sent him a text saying, hey, just want to make sure that you know that we're still interested in Bader. We had talked about it, but really didn't switch names back and forth yesterday at all through their preference. And so this morning when I sent him, he said, well, let me give it some thought. I'll send it back to you. And they were working quickly. It's, again, appearing on a lot of different things. He gave us a couple names there that we talked about. And we debated some other things we also had going on. Our staff was here. And then when we got here, we got started. But we had everybody gathered together at 11. And that was one of the things we talked about right off the bat, about the possibility there and weighted versus some other alternatives. That's when we really pushed it. So the real discussions, really, those names today were really names that came out today, that proposal. And they were in a position where we knew that they liked Valoria for some other conversations we had going on. But that was really the first time that we exchanged those specific names was today.
So they liked the 16-year-old kid.
Yep. Yep.
He's a pitcher. Like, how on earth could you, like, look at a 16-year-old pitcher and say we really like him? Like, what is he? Is he throwing 95 at age 16?
5 starts, 14 innings, and a 4.50 ERA in the Dominican Summer League.
But they liked him. I don't know how the names that they throw back at the Phillies. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll give you those guys. It's like, well, all right. So Bader was like a low-hanging ceiling type of move where they get the. I've already told you my opinion of him. He's like Kelly Oubre in a lot of ways. He just gets passed around from team to team. You know?
No, I don't know. You love throwing out the Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, really.
Kelly Oubre is like your ultimate insult to someone.
Kelly Oubre's a loser. He gets moved from team to team to team to team to lose. That's what he does.
All right, Bader was on the team that beat the Phillies last year.
Yeah, I know, but come on. Why do people don't want to stick with him? It's like, yeah, he's expendable.
Well, I told you, this past offseason, the Mets, do you want to bring Bader back or should we reshape our outfield with Juan Soto? It's like, no kidding, you're going to reshape your outfield with Juan Soto.
I get that, but every other team has the same problem? Why everybody gives up on them?
The Twins gave up everyone yesterday.
By the way,
they might not play baseball today.
Let me just say this. That's a disgrace. That it really is. I hate that fans get beat up like that. In Pittsburgh, they get beat up in Minnesota, these small-rung teams that can't commit to anything. Like 11 players. Come on now.
11 players? It's absurd.
It really is.
They nearly trade half the roster.
The commissioner needs to do something about that. They can't peddle players away. Disgraceful. I tweeted that last night. I felt bad for the Twins fans.
I got a call yesterday asking me if I wanted to play left field in Minnesota tomorrow. I was like, nah, I want to hang out with Mikey Miss. I'm good. Thanks, though. Appreciate it.
I know. Come on. Yeah, that's a disgrace. All right, let's go back to our text board here.
All right, texter here saying, I like what the Phillies did. Padres had to do what they did to compete in their state, let alone the league. The Phillies trade for this year and the future. Mets traded for a bunch of rentals.
Doesn't really matter. I don't know why people get hung up on this. The Mets traded for a bunch of rentals. What do I care about that? What do they care about that? They're trying to win something. So they have the money to buy people to replace the guys that they may lose. They're going for it now. I don't know why that's the criteria.
Yeah, I mean, do I like Duran better than Helsley in general? Yes. So I think the Phillies got the best reliever of anyone. However, I do think, like, in terms of roster building, honestly, they have a good enough bullpen under contract right now that I'm not really that concerned if I'm the Mets. I think they, again, would be my second best team to come out of the deadline yesterday. I think they did the second best in the National League.
You shortchanged Mullins. I think he's going to be a big addition for him.
Nah.
Oh.
Pass.
All right. Let's go to the phones. We'll talk to Greg in Bethlehem. Greg, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Greg?
Morning, guys. I think the consensus is they get an A+ for the closer and I don't know what, C minus maybe for the outfielder. They got Bader. One of the things, and I'm sensing a little snake oil on the shelf with Dombrowski, but we've heard a number of times now he's come out and said that we need to improve from inside, and it's not like they have a whole team of new guys. I mean, these guys have played all year. Why does he think that all of a sudden there's going to be this dramatic improvement? That part is the snake oil segment, and it seems to me that they had decided on Wednesday night that they were probably going to take Bader, and we're happy to take leftovers.
Well, what other great hitter was moved that they could have gotten, except for Laureano?
Well, Laureano was the one that I was thinking of.
Yeah.
The other was the third baseman, Suarez.
All right, so you would have wanted them again. That would have made Kyle Schwarber your left fielder. Now, I would have been okay with that, but Seattle probably made a better offer. Sometimes the other team makes a better offer.
Well, and if that's the case, then frankly, Bader. I don't see how Bader makes the team that much better.
I agree.
And if that's the case, then why do it at all?
It makes the team better if you add energy by bringing up Crawford, which maybe is in the back of their mind. They just don't want to do it right now. But if they bring him up before September, then you got a platoon with Bader and Marsh.
Yeah, well, I could buy that, that would energize them. But they could do that whether they had Bader up or not.
Well, no, they could. Well, who they were going to platoon Marsh with in left field? Kemp?
Well, they could DFA Kepler or Dub. There's people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Who would be the platoon in left field? I'm giving you the platoon now. Bader and Marsh make a better platoon than anything they could have platooned with in left field, don't you think?
Yeah, but their big issue is the bats.
I'm giving you improvement. I'm giving you a platoon in left field that makes more sense bat-wise than they would have had with Kemp and Marsh as opposed to Kemp and Bader. What would you rather have gone with? At the very least, first of all, Bader is probably going to hit the same as Kemp, if not better. He's got more pop, and he's a better outfielder. Right. He's not a great player, but when you measure it against who we would have to platoon with, he's probably a better player than anybody you would have had to platoon with.
Yeah, it just doesn't move the needle that much for me. You make a good point. I guess they get marginally better.
That's what they do. They get marginally better if they bring up Crawford. I think that is the energized move that they need to make. Otherwise, you've got the same kind of platoon situation. Unless you're going to convince me that playing Bader every day as the center fielder and playing Marsh every day as the left fielder is the way to go. 610-632-0975 is how you get into the show. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
We want to hear from you.
97.5, The Fanatic. Wall of Fame night tonight. Phillies and Detroit Tigers. Jimmy Rollins, Ed Wade. I have been an advocate of Jimmy Rollins for a really long time for the Hall of Fame. And I don't understand why he gets so little acclaim and notice for the Hall of Fame. I'm looking at numbers here that would qualify him as a definite Hall of Fame shortstop in relation to the numbers of the shortstops that are in. Now, I understand that like back in the olden day, like they put in guys like Phil Rizzuto and Pee Wee Reese, and that was a sign of times. Neither one of those gentlemen, if you look at their numbers, deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. But to the modern-day shortstops, like I compared Jimmy Rollins to the following. Barry Larkin, Ozzie Smith, Derek Jeter, Alan Trammell, Omar Vizquel, Cal Ripken. And I will assert that Jimmy Rollins' numbers is right in line with any of those gentlemen and should get Hall of Fame notice. Now, Ray, you ask what people Jimmy Rollins, and they go, not quite Hall of Fame. But you'll ask about Chase Utley, and they go, he's a Hall of Famer. And I go, I don't understand it. I really do not get it. So maybe you can explain it to me.
Yeah, I think it's a byproduct now of where we're at in Hall of Fame voting. I think when you look at Rollins, a lot of the counting stats, when you compare him to shortstops like you're talking about, I think that he actually favorably matches up with a number of shortstops in that way. But some of the metrics I think that they've moved to in like, I guess, 21st century voting, the OPS pluses of the world, looking more at the WAR, and those things do favor Utley. And that, I think, is now with the way that people are voting, he aligns more with the modern day vote for a Hall of Famer than Jimmy Rollins.
All right, how about in relation not Utley, but the other shortstops? For instance, Omar Vizquel, their biggest Hall of Famer, right? Jimmy Rollins' WAR was 47.9. Omar Vizquel's was 45.6. Jimmy Rollins. I'll give you Jimmy's numbers. You can write these down. 264 lifetime batting average, which is not that great. But 2,455 hits, 231 home runs, 470 stolen bases, an OPS of 743, and a fielding percentage of 983, which is 2/100ths less than Omar Vizquel. And that's the top fielding percentage of the shortstops that are in the Hall of Fame. So when you compare that, how in the world is Jimmy Rollins not, home runs Vizquel hit? Less than 100.
This Omar Vizquel angle might be the best angle you have to get him in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, all right, Omar Vizquel, 272. All right. Better than Jimmy. 2,877 hits. He played more years than Jimmy. 404 stolen bases. Jimmy had 470. OPS of 688. Jimmy's was 743. Fielding percentage, 985. Jimmy was 983.
And the OPS plus for him is, I think, 13 points lower than what Jimmy is. I think Jimmy was a 95.
OPS plus, less than him.
I mean, when you compare him...
listen, I haven't even got Ozzie Smith yet. All right, because everybody, Ozzie, well, I got the great Ozzie. Jimmy Rollins was a better fielder than Ozzie Smith. His fielding percentage, people would never even realize that. His fielding percentage was better than Ozzie Smith. I don't know. Do I have to go on? I'm going to go on.
Please, stand on the soapbox.
Barry Larkin. Bach. 295, 2,340 hits, 198 home runs. Jimmy had more home runs than Barry Larkin, by the way. 379 stolen bases. Jimmy had 100 more. OPS, all right, 815 to Jimmy's 743. Fielding percentage, 975. His WAR was 70.5. All right, I'm not going to quibble about that. Let's get to Ozzie. 262. 2,460 hits. Jimmy had 2,455. 28 home runs for Ozzie Smith. 580 stolen bases. Okay, he had 100 more. 666 OPS and a 978 fielding percentage to Jimmy's 983. Derek Jeter. All right. Do I need to go there? 310, 3,465 hits, 260 home runs, 358 stolen bases, 817 OPS, 976 fielding percentage. WAR was 71.3. How about Alan Trammell? 285 lifetime average, 2365 hits, 236 stolen bases, 767 OPS, comparable to Jimmy. 185 home runs to Jimmy's 231, 976 fielding percentage. Is that overwhelmingly better than Jimmy Rollins? You want to go to Ripken? All right, I lose out on Ripken. 276 lifetime, 3184 hits, 431 home runs, 36 stolen bases. 788 OPS, comparable to Jimmy, 977 fielding percentage. I'm just saying, I don't understand how he gets no acclaim for the Hall. Like, he doesn't even get a buzz for the Hall of Fame. And I just wonder why.
We're going through a couple of these comparisons here. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Ozzie defensive metrics, as you would imagine, are just absurd comparatively to what Rollins has going for him.
Metrics meaning what? He gets the balls more?
I'm just looking at defensive WAR, and he's got the greatest of all time.
Okay.
So that probably is one where people even look like modern versus. I don't think you really need metrics when the guy won 13 Gold Gloves. Again, offensively, you get more from Jimmy, but the Wizard of Oz.
The metrics, what do they indicate? That he gets the more ball, he has better range, he gets the more balls?
I'm sure, I can't, where's his range here? So give me some advanced fielding here. But I'm sure that also plays into this, where he was. Yeah, range-wise, yeah, his range, every number for range is pretty much leading the league.
All right, I got that, but still, Jimmy Rollins at 2,455 hits, 231 home runs, and 983 fielding percentage, which was second all time. I don't know how you get ignored. I really don't. That's just my spin on it.
That's fair.
And he wasn't that popular here. Like, he's going to go on a Wall of Fame tonight. Was Jimmy Rollins that popular here?
I mean, I'm probably the wrong person to ask because these were my childhood heroes. Like, to me, yeah. Everyone I knew growing up loved Jimmy Rollins. But I also wasn't debating every day whether or not he was hustling enough, whether or not he swung too much of the first pitch and was popping it up.
It was always the complaint. He swung too much and popped up too much. He didn't put the ball on the ground. He didn't run hard on certain ground balls. Everybody was always complaining about Jimmy Rollins.
Yes, I was somewhat exposed to that because I would listen to sports talk radio, and I had obviously had family members that were adults who were debating that. But as kids, Jimmy Rollins was like the ultimate cool baseball player to watch growing up. Like, he just had a swagger about him. The team to beat thing, that's awesome. As a kid, you watch Jimmy Rollins say to the team to beat, then he goes out as an MVP season.
He always had the swagger, and I always liked him better than Utley, but I was in the minority opinion in this town. All right, 610-632-0975. If you have any Jimmy Rollins memories, you remember, was he that appreciated? Was he as appreciated as he should have been in this town? Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Deadline passes. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. After months of speculation, we finally got the answer on what the Phillies would do at the trade deadline. On Wednesday, the Phillies acquired Jhoan Duran from the Twins to be the team's closer, and they followed that up on Thursday by making a second deal with the Twins for outfielder Harrison Bader. Dave Dombrowski met with the media following the deadline and addressed this team.
There was no stone unturned, but we felt good with our club. We didn't have a lot of gaping holes. Some of, again, our offensive improvements going to have to come internally.
Phillies' new additions will be in uniform tonight. They open up a 3-game set with the Tigers at 6:45 with Ranger Suarez on the mound. Prior to the game, Jimmy Rollins and Ed Wade will be inducted into the team's Wall of Fame. Eagles, less than a week away from their preseason opener, return to the practice field today. Nick Sirianni was scheduled to meet with the media earlier. He had to cancel that media availability due to being under the weather. He did make it out to practice today as the Birds had practice at 10 a.m. This update's brought to you by the local Ream Pro partners at the ReamTeam.com. When you want your home to feel like a dream, it has to be Ream. Stay cool with a high-efficiency AC system from Ream, RHEEM. Find your Ream Pro partner at the ReamTeam.com. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Allegations of domestic violence, sexual harassment. That's the voters have punished him for that. So he's not in. But his numbers would be akin to somebody going in the Hall of Fame, right? 2,873 hits.
I mean, again, counting stats. Like, I don't know if he's a modern
He won 11 Gold Gloves.
Yeah.
I mean,
that'll do it.
That's a lot. And his career defensive wins above replacement of 29.5 ranks ninth all time at any position. And his advanced metrics. So he's not in. I misspoke. But, like, that's the type of numbers that I would compare Jimmy to.
Right.
What's the text board saying about this?
Text board about that specifically?
Yeah.
Why? People,
I think he was a very underappreciated player here.
Mike in Turnersville says that Jimmy Rollins deserves to be in the Hall of Fame and has gotten entirely overlooked.
He's in agreement.
I love Jimmy Rollins because he said he wanted an MVP because Ryan Howard won the previous one and then ended up getting an MVP himself. I agree on the Jimmy Rollins. He has the 7th most homers by a shortstop for their career. I think for Hall of Fame, they should be compared to people already in at the position. Jimmy also has an MVP, which those other guys don't. He was underrated when he played and gets no respect. Now it's preposterous. Brenton.
I mean, that's the way I feel. Like, he's getting honored tonight. Okay, so he'll get great acclaim tonight. I get it. But like when he was gone from here, it was like he was gone and forgotten. And Utley was always never forgotten.
You really think he's been forgotten?
Jimmy, I think he's been forgotten. I don't think that people have the swelling of pride. He's on a national baseball TV show, post-game show. I don't know if he's that beloved here.
I guess this is a generational difference between the two of us. Zach from Florida chimes in. I love Jimmy. Like Ray said, I think Rollins' love or hate is generational. I'm 32 and have a Rollins number 6 youth jersey. I thought he was the coolest man on the field. Switch hitting, sick with the glove. As a kid, watching him, if he didn't come up with the ball, I always figured that meant no one could have. Like, I think for my generation, watching Jimmy Rollins, it was like, oh, that guy's just the coolest.
Yeah, it's possible. There are so many other people in other age groups that were bothered by the fact that he showed a lack of hustle sometimes. And when the world was screaming for him to use his speed by hitting the ball more on the ground, he was more defiant, and he hit the ball in the air more. And like when people ask him not to swing at the first pitch, he swung at the first pitch more. Like, he was that type of guy.
It's interesting that we're having this conversation because about a week or so ago, I was talking with one of my friends about like this run of the Phillies and now doing what I do, like living in this space every day. If I had like that childlike, youthful innocence of like just watching this stretch of competitive Phillies baseball, who I would absolutely love, and who right now I sit here and like, this person drives me crazy because I'm an adult watching it versus a kid watching it.
Yeah.
Like, I think that might be the Jimmy Rollins conversation. Like, I think for you doing this every day, listen to people complain about Jimmy Rollins, you're like, you don't appreciate enough what you have in Jimmy Rollins.
I think you're right.
And I think for me, growing up and just like, oh, I love baseball, and like, oh, this Phillies team is really good, I never thought like there was another side of the Jimmy Rollins conversation. I was like, oh, that man is awesome.
Let me ask you this. And this is the Mike Missanelli Show, and you're listening to it on WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. Did you like Rollins more than Utley? Or was it vice versa? Because my sense is it was 70 to 30, percentage-wise, Utley over Jimmy.
I would think you're probably right about that. For me,
so the question
my
is,
favorite
why?
of them was Howard.
Okay.
So that like to me,
right,
there was one that I
you like the home run ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was
everybody likes the home run ball, but Ryan Howard wasn't appreciated either.
no. And
Is there a racial component to this?
Well, I think what ended up crushing Howard was the fact that he got the contract and then he was the last one here. Like Howard, there was nowhere he was going to go. He was going to be here till the end of that contract in 2016. You know, once he started to fall off and once he got injured and he came back and the era fell apart, he just kind of became the face of like, wow, you know, that era is well beyond us at this point, where he was here to the end of that contract. Like, I think that plays into whether or not people appreciate him. Like, at the time, him getting booed in 13 and 14 and 15, he became the representation of the fact that the era was over.
Yeah.
And he was a reminder that they were done.
That definitely. But when it comes to Utley and Jimmy, you could get 10 Phillies fans, and ask them who their favorite player was. I guarantee you 7 go for Utley over Jimmy. 3 go for Jimmy. 70%. It's a 70% deal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have an answer for you on why it is.
Okay.
Like again, maybe it is my youthful innocence for that team that I was just
Utley never did anything wrong, according to people here. Not one thing wrong. Jimmy, you could point to some things. Ryan Howard, you could point to some things. They always do.
Yeah, but I mean, looking at that team, like right now, who on this team does no wrong for the Phillies fans?
Bryce Harper.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, is it just
Schwarber?
Schwarber? Yeah, Schwarber does no wrong. Going through different eras, like Schmidt did wrong in people's eyes.
He did.
Was there anyone in that era that kind of walked on water?
Of the great teams, Carlton was a weirdo.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of the eyes of the fan base.
Yeah, well, they appreciated Carlton, but they realized it was a weird. They couldn't touch Carlton. It was like from afar you could admire him.
I'm just trying to figure out the golden eras of Phillies baseball, the ones where they're competitive. Who are the players that kind of existed above criticism?
Yeah, but listen, right? I'm making the case. This guy's numbers were Hall of Fame numbers, and 7 out of 10 would go with Utley.
Well, Utley also has Hall of Fame numbers.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. Absolutely. You start comparing to second baseman.
The injuries and the how many hits did he top out with?
Somewhere
1,700.
Yeah, somewhere like the 1,700 2000 range.
Yeah, that's not enough hits, and that's a shame that he got hurt and he missed a lot of games. That's not enough hits. I don't care about your metrics.
Yeah, but that's not how this goes anymore.
I know. I'm telling you how you should be voting. I'm voting on totality of a career.
I think his WAR in the 10-year sample size from like 05 to 14.
I get the WAR's important. I get it. What was his WAR?
It was second to Pujols in that time. Like you didn't get any more valuable
What was his overall WAR?
Like 68.
68. All right. Jimmy's was 47.9.
Right. I mean that's a considerable difference.
Okay.
His OPS plus is like 20 points higher than his OPS just in general. I think was over 800 for his career.
There's a general question that I need answered here. Why would the majority of Philly fans go Utley over Rollins? Why are the majority of Philly fans not clamoring that he's got Hall of Fame numbers? Why? He's got 2,455 hits, 231 home runs. Let's go to Nick in Briarcliff. Nick, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Nick, what's up?
What's happening, Mike? What's happening,
How
Mike?
are you?
Good. Mike, I think you're 100% right about this. I think Rollins, hands down Hall of Fame. I know you can debate things, but after you get done the debate, his numbers really do stand out. I definitely agree with you, and there's a sort of a bias. He was the best Philly of that era. Howard and Utley's body of work was just too short. They always said, like, guys who go in the Hall of Fame are the best in their era at their position. Well, he hands down what? He has an MVP, and that's something Jeter and Ozzie Smith never did. He leads the franchise in hits. One of the oldest franchises in baseball, he leads in hits. And I think one thing that did hurt him, though, was playing after 2014, that 2015 season. That drags down his numbers a little bit just because he wants to keep on playing.
Yeah.
But hands down, I think, there's no doubt about it. He should be in it.
I just don't understand why he is not, like, we clamor, we support, like this thing for Dick Allen to get to the Hall of Fame was engineered and championed by a lot of people. Like, I don't feel the same type of vibe that nobody really thinks of Jimmy Rollins as a Hall of Famer, even in his hometown. And I just don't understand it.
I don't know. I think it's that, and I mean, I love the Phillies, had season tickets all these years and stuff like that. And I got the vibe the whole time. Just Utley, I don't know, the bravado of this town, like, we're hard-nosed, hard-working, and Utley always was like that. You're telling me there's times Utley didn't hustle ball out. I mean, you don't think Rollins played hard all the time? Like, come on. It's just like a bias. Like, we like this bravado about Utley so much.
Yeah, well, I can't remember Utley loafing ever. He may not have loafed ever. He did play the game a certain way, and I know that that resonates with Philadelphia fans. But I thought Jimmy was the backbone. I really do.
Yeah, I think Jimmy's swagger, I'd probably turn people off too. As Utley was like a quiet, the quiet and whatever strong type guy, and Rollins was a little flashy. I think that turned probably the older fan base off a little.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, bro. Let me ask you a question.
I'll talk to you.
Wait. What did you think the Phillies did yesterday? What do you give them? What kind of grade?
I usually call you guys in on Wednesday because of general knowledge. I love playing the general knowledge. And I was telling you guys then, like, if they stand pat, I wouldn't have been happy, but I'm kind of confident team. The one thing they had addressed, they definitely addressed. I'm very pleased. Not only do you have a closer for this year, but you got a closer for 2 more years. And honestly, I would have gave up Painter for him just because by the time Painter fits into all your plans, that window might be closed. So you got a lights-out closer for this, the remainder of this window. And you didn't. I don't think you gave up much for it, to be honest with you.
I
So
totally agree, Nick. It was a tremendous coup by Dave Dombrowski to give up the prospects that he did to get that guy. I still don't know how he pulled it off, but the Twins wanted to sell everybody, so I guess that helped the situation. 610-632-0975 is how you climb into the show. On the other side, I'm going to enlighten people. Ray, I showed you the guy sent me, this broker sent me his Belgium ID card.
Incredible.
Enclosed it in an email. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. I'm going to read his email after this.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. It's Bill Colarulo, and coming up at 2 o'clock on Unfiltered.
Mike Missanelli Show. All right, we're talking about the trade and where it puts the Phillies right now because we were celebrating when they got Duran yesterday. Then they got Harrison Bader, which is like a pebble in a pond as opposed to a boulder with Duran. But then it was before we realized what the other teams were doing. So the other contenders, the Mets, they got better. They got Mullins, they got Helsley, they got Tyler Rogers a little earlier. The Padres with a big haul, getting Mason Miller as a closer to an already potent bullpen. Ryan O'Hearn, Laureano, Freddie Fermin as starters. The Yankees, I don't worry about the American League, but they added 3 closers for crying out loud. So what is the state of the Phillies, and what is the state now with Harrison Bader in the fold? With the solutions being they platoon Marsh and Bader in center field and stay with the Kepler-Kemp platoon in left field when Bohm comes back. The second thing is Marsh and Bader would platoon in left field as they bring Crawford up to play center field. And third, it stays as it is. Kepler and Bader would platoon in left. Marsh and Rojas would platoon in center. What is your choice here? 610-632-0975. Let's go back to the phones, and then I'm going to enlighten everybody as to why I'm going to inherit 9 million euros. Frank in Voorhees, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Frank.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
What's up, Frankie?
Hey, real quick with the trades, I think Bader, it was a bad trade. You gave up prospects for a guy who can't hit the ball out of the infield.
No, you didn't give up anything for him. You gave up nothing.
He's a great defender, but he's not that good.
Yeah, but you gave. Well, hold on a second. You gave up nothing for him. So basically, you brought a guy.
They gave up their 12th best prospect. Well, I don't know what that means.
No, they didn't give up their 12th best prospect for him.
Well, that's what it said. The one story.
What it was? That guy was their 12th best prospect.
12th best.
Really? Oh, okay. All right. And they give up a 16-year-older.
Yeah. Well, that guy. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? But the real thing I want to talk about was Rollins.
Yes.
I told your guy who answers the phone. There should be no debate. If they consider Barry Larkin a Hall of Famer, which he is, he's in the Hall of Fame. You compare his stats with Rollins, it's not even close.
Well, it's close.
Rollins dominates him in every category except hits, on-base percentage, and walks.
Well, batting average.
It's not close.
Batting average, 30 points higher.
So what? I mean, Rollins produced more runs. Rollins produced more RBI, more doubles, more triples, more home runs.
I agree. But Barry Larkin hitting lifetime 295 is pretty good with 2,340 hits. It's pretty good.
Also, nobody sits there and says, okay, the Reds won the series in '90 with Goggles Paisano at third base and Pedro Borbon on the mound. Okay, but
Goggles Paisano.
Rollins led the Phillies to 5 straight division titles in a tough NL East, in a tough NL. Some of those years they had over 100 wins. Went to the World Series twice. Now, they should have won the second one. I get it. But, and then, of course, the stupid Giants teams who beat them, who all sucked. They were terrible. I mean, you got to be kidding me. It's not even close how much better Rollins is than Barry Larkin.
I agree they're comparable. I wouldn't say it's not even close.
You look at the stats. Go line
I'm
by
looking
line.
at him right in front of me.
Stolen bases.
Barry Larkin has a 30. He has 31 points higher average, lifetime average.
Yeah, but that's the only thing. That's the only thing. Other than that, look at.
But
the
that's
doubles,
I know. Most of the stats are comparable. Jimmy has a few more hits. He's got more home runs. He's got more stolen bases. He's got
a lot more.
His OPS isn't as good. And his WAR isn't as good.
Stats. I can't stand those nerd fantasy stats.
Well, you got to look at all the numbers. Barry Larkin's WAR is 70.5. His batting average is 295. That's significant. But I would agree they're comparable statistics in most other categories.
OPS can't be a nerd fantasy stat. It's literally just adding on base and slugging. Some metrics you can get mad at. If you're mad at OPS.
No, OPS.
I think that's a line we have to draw in the sand.
Larkin, 815 to 743 with 30 points higher batting average and like 25 more WAR points. So, listen, it's not even close. It's the wrong thing to say there.
And Larkin also, I mean, he won Silver Slugger how many times? Like, He was kind of the preeminent shortstop of his league at the time.
Yeah. By the way, do you know who Goggles Paisano was?
No.
Goggles Paisano was a character from the Flintstones. I always thought was racist. He was an Italian race car driver. And his name in the Flintstones was Goggles Paisano. Is that racist?
Playing into stereotypes right there pretty hard.
Yeah, it is. But see, Italians are unaffected by this kind of thing, and I don't know why. I always stand up for it. Goggles Paisano, come on, it's racist. But he's referring to Chris Sabo, who was the Reds' third baseman back in the day, who wore goggles. That's why he said Goggles Paisano. He combined two thoughts. It was brilliant. Goggles Paisano from the Flintstones with Chris Sabo
God, those
of the
goggles.
Cincinnati Reds.
Ugh, he wore those all the time?
Yes, he did.
Why?
I don't know. He had that were his glasses. He needed to see with glasses, so he wore goggles instead of glasses.
What, he advised him on that?
Goggles Paisano.
God, he looks like he's about to show up to the YMCA with the meanest jump shot you've ever seen.
Yeah, Chris Sabo. He does have pictures without the goggles, but I can hardly recognize him without He's one of those guys that wore the goggles so much that when he took them off, you never recognize him. There's like guys that wear a hat, and all of a sudden they take them off and they're bald, and you never realized it.
Yes. I actually, for a long time, and I don't know why I'm catching it straight with him, Bob Cooney, for the longest time, wore a hat every time I saw him. When he finally took off the hat for the first time, I was like, whoa, I had no idea. Love you, Bob, but like he's the one that like the ultimate guy.
Yeah, he was thinning.
Who also is that way?
That early.
Zach Wheeler.
Yes,
Zach Wheeler.
Yeah, there's another guy. He looks like he's 73 when he takes the hat off.
Yeah, the dome he has, people don't realize because that hat is just basically a part of his
looks
look.
like Grandpa.
He does.
610-632-0975 is how you get into the show. Fun Friday show. We're kicking it around. What did you think of the deal? And now in relation to what the other teams have done, that's question one. Number two is how would you now set up the outfield? Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Deadline passes. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. After months of speculation, we finally got the answers to what the Phillies would do at the trade deadline. On Wednesday, the Phillies acquired Joan Duran from the Twins to be the team's closer, and they followed that up on Thursday by making a second deal with Twins for outfielder Harrison Bader. Dave Dombrowski met with the media following the deadline, talked about some internal improvements and where he sees the club.
There was no stone unturned, but we felt good with our club. We didn't have a lot of gaping holes. Some of, again, our offensive improvements going to have to come internally.
Phillies' new additions will be in uniform tonight. They open up a 4-game set with the Tigers at 6:45. Ranger Suarez on the mound for that game. Prior to the game, Jimmy Rollins and Ed Wade will be inducted into the team's Wall of Fame. They're saying you want to be in your seats by 6 o'clock tonight for this ceremony. Eagles, less than a week away from their preseason opener, return to the practice field today. Nick Sirianni was scheduled to meet with the media. He was under the weather today, did make practice, however, but did not meet with the media. This update is brought to you by Extreme Experience. Extreme Experience brings real supercar driving to New Jersey Motorsports Park, August 14th through the 17th. No experience needed. Book now at extremeexperience.com. That's Extreme Experience Boat, but the next space is limited. I'm Ray Dunn in your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hey, sports.
I'm okay. I'm not okay with Harrison Bader, but I'm okay in general. It's the Mike Missanelli Show, 610-632-0975. All right, so I'm watching Billy Joel, the second episode of the documentary that HBO is doing. And last night, I caught it last night, was when he meets Christy Brinkley. So he goes through a painful divorce from his muse, his first, like he knew her like for a really long time, Elizabeth, who had been through all the hard times with him. That breaks up. He goes to St. Bart's on vacation as a kind of a broken-hearted man. He goes into a club, and they said every time that Billy Joel would go into a club that had a piano, he'd sit down at the piano. He'd do a little something.
They call him the Piano Man.
Right. So he walks in, he gets to the piano. At the same time, ironically, a swimsuit suit is going on. A swimsuit photo shoot is going on with all the top models in the world. Elle Macpherson and Christy Brinkley are part of the troupe. They're in the club the same night. Elle Macpherson is a major Billy Joel fan, and she's parading around trying to get his attention. Elle Macpherson, you imagine this gorgeous 6-foot-tall supermodel, and then it's Christy Brinkley. He's not paying attention to Elle Macpherson. He's paying more attention to Christy Brinkley, who then sits at the piano with him, and he's playing a little piano thing. You know, the greatest thing about being a musician is you go, hi, can you join me at the piano? Let's do a little thing. I mean, is that the breakthrough of the century?
It's tremendous. You can't do that in this line of work.
Also in the bar, and as part of the photo shoot, is a young lady who comes over and says she would like to sing with him as he's playing the piano. He goes, yeah, okay, whatever. Not expecting anything. This woman has this booming voice that's going all the way through the bar. Guess who it is?
No idea.
Whitney Houston.
Really? It's a heck of a night.
What? You got to be kidding me. It's unbelievable. Think about that. Christy Brinkley, now Billy Joel's not, it kind of looks like a raccoon, frankly, right? But he's got the gift of the piano. Bang! Christy Brinkley.
Yeah, it works for you. Like you said, that's the charm of being a musician. This line of work, I can't just pull out a microphone and be like, listen to my Jalen Hurts
You will be able to later. You'll get that kind of claim. You won't be the piano man, but you'll be like, I don't know.
Think about that.
Like a famous announcer.
The musician could sing for it, play the instruments, or I'm like, I have crafted the absolute perfect take here on what the Phillies did at the deadline. It's two very different, both art in their own way. Two very different appreciated forms of art.
I don't know what happened at the end of the night with Billy Joel and Christy Brinkley, but subsequently they started dating. Like he went back to New York, she went where she had to go, and they finally went out on an official date. But can you imagine? You hook up with Christy Brinkley that later that night. Do you stop and go, wait a minute, this is Christy Brinkley?
At some point, you're like, what in the world's going on?
Do you say, oh, I'm Billy Joel? Or do you go, I'm a raccoon-faced little piano player, and she's the world's foremost supermodel?
I would think if I were Billy Joel, I'd be like, wow, what in the world is going on with my life? How did I get so lucky?
That broken heart was mended quickly.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
It was his forgetting Sarah Marshall trip.
Yeah. All right, Ray. I'm going to do it here because the people want to demand it. They want an update. So the man in Belgium finally got back to me. Not only got back to me, he forwarded an attachment of his Belgium ID card, front and back.
Yeah, this is crazy.
And so then he sends me the letter. Dear Michael Missanelli, once again, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for your prompt and thoughtful response to my proposal, which I expressed some reservations on whether this was on the level or not. I fully understand that you may harbor certain reservations, which are entirely natural under the circumstances. However, I kindly urge you to set aside any doubts or concerns, as every aspect of this matter will be approached with the utmost diligence and in strict adherence to all applicable legal and regulatory frameworks.
Such as?
I can confidently affirm that this undertaking is entirely legitimate and presents no risk to you whatsoever. By the way of brief background, my late client, engineer Eldrick Missanelli, was a distinguished stockbroker and business magnate who regrettably passed away from heart failure. His wife, who predeceased him due to breast cancer and the absence of any surviving children or known heirs, has rendered the policy benefits unclaimed. Despite exhaustive efforts to identify and contact next of kin, since his passing, no legitimate claimant has come forward to assert a claim to his insured fixed deposit, which is now subject to potential reversion under the European Deposit Insurance Scheme, EDIS. As a financial consultant to the late client, I was recently approached by the holding insurance and financial institution where the relevant authorities were on the verge of classifying his accumulated insured fixed deposit as unserviceable. In this light of the development and recognizing a rare opportunity, I have chosen to reach out to you for these unclaimed assets. Now, I obviously, when I emailed him, I said, why me? There's got to be other Missanellis around. Why me? He says, my primary objective is to engage with someone of integrity and reliability to facilitate this process, and this is why I have chosen to reach out to you. Your status as a foreign national uniquely positions you to be considered as the potential beneficiary to these funds. Following careful consideration, I am inclined to believe that you might be the most suitable party to partner with in this matter. My professional intuition and discretion have guided me to initiate this confidential communication with you. Well, it's no longer confidential.
Very much not confidential.
By the way. All right, so please be assured I have taken every precaution and thoroughly examined all aspects of this process. I am confident that with our joint effort and strict adherence to protocol, the successful outcome of this initiative is well within reach. And he goes on and on and on, and he says, in order to complete the documentation accurately and in line with institutional requirements, I kindly request that you could reconfirm the following personal details at your earliest convenience. Full legal name, current residential address, occupation, contact telephone numbers, age, and marital status. He doesn't ask for any money. He doesn't ask for any deposit. He asks for nothing. Ray, what do you think?
A couple things here. I would love to go back to the legal thing he said early in this email. If you could read that for me one more time.
The legal part of it?
Yeah, where he's saying I'm taking all legal matters seriously.
All necessary documentation and procedures will be meticulously followed to ensure that the process is smooth and secure. He says every aspect of this matter will be approached with the utmost diligence and in strict adherence to all applicable legal and regulatory framework.
The I'm following all the laws clause of this email is cause for concern for me as to why you have to specify the fact that you are following all the laws and legal proceedings.
So he doesn't. So I don't think it's a scam.
Right. Someone clarifying to you that they're doing everything legally always raises the question mark to me of why do you have to clarify to me that you're doing this legally?
Are you tinkling on my inheritance here?
Certainly not doing that, Mike.
Eldrick Missanelli was a distinguished gentleman, apparently.
And I am so sorry for what happened to Eldrick Missanelli.
Business magnate.
Wasn't he an engineer at one point,
He was a distinguished stockbroker. Yeah, it says my late client, engineer Eldrick, was a distinguished stockbroker and business magnate.
Also, while we're on this, he does not ask for money, nor like the Social Security or anything like that. But I am always leery of giving out my address to a stranger. I do not like doing that. That's
not asking for my Social Security number. He's asking for my address. He can find my address in Google.
Can you?
I don't know. I think so.
Really?
Yeah, or you can go on there. You can get these other avenues where you can get somebody's address real easy.
Well, good thing I'm moving.
Nothing is really secured.
I don't know. Listen, you showed me the ID. You did show me the ID.
He said, for your reassurance and in good faith, I have attached a copy of my national identification card. This is intended to foster transparency and mutual confidence as we proceed.
Mike, this just really sounds like we're laying out like a dateline. Not a dateline. Dateline's a little much. Like a 60 minutes here of...
Seems to be too good to be true, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like right now, you're probably...
Here's my question. What do I have to lose?
Nothing yet, I guess. Like, again, I don't like giving out the address, but other than that, you're not taking any money from you.
Here's the one thing that I just discovered. In the first consultation, how much was he taking from this pot? You remember?
10%.
10%. Okay, now I just saw a clause here. It is imperative that I receive your unequivocal assurance that once all the necessary documentation has been duly completed and you were formally recognized as the bona fide beneficiary of the insured fixed deposit, you will fully honor our prior understanding and uphold my rightful entitlement to 45% of the total proceeds derived from this transaction. All of a sudden it went to 45.
So 10% is now going elsewhere, and you're splitting the 45-45.
No, the 10% has been overpowered by the 45.
Well, why would he take 45?
I don't know.
So you're getting 55?
He first said 10. Now it's 45.
Don't like
so
this.
That's shaky.
I don't like this, Mike.
All right, I just emailed him back. I said, you said 10% at first. Why now 45?
Got me concerned, Mike.
This is my buddy now, Flaubert.
I think you right now, I don't think realize the service you're doing to some sort of FBI crime investigator
that's
out there.
Okay. If I can solve a crime, I'll solve a crime.
Yeah. Like, we're getting closer and closer to the real identity of whoever this is that's doing this to a ton of people.
Yeah. Maybe the FBI will give me a reward.
9 million euros?
It won't be 9 million euros. It'll be a cup of coffee. By the way, speaking of cup of coffee, can anybody drop a cup of coffee by for me? Our coffee machine here broke. It broke. Is there any good Samaritan out there? Can you bring me a cup of coffee from Starbucks? One Bala Plaza. 4th floor. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Andrew Salciunas, Sean Kincade.
I can give you all the
All right, it's the Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. You know, you really read some idiotic people on Twitter. And we're back to the changing of the names, Cleveland and Washington. And you got an ignoramus there named Matthew Blansky. Says those names were far from being racist. No normal person ever looked at the Indians and Redskins and associated racism to, no normal person. Bigots did. Only jackass woke people and ultra sensitive people just trying to make a name for themselves. How do people still look at this and say that those names weren't racist? Do you not have? Do you live in this world? What is wrong with you people? So this guy gets a block, right? It's an example of a block, right?
This is the sound of you blocking.
This is the sound of me blocking. Matthew Blansky. Bye, you creep. All right. Let's go back to the phones. We got Tim checking in. Tim, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Where's Tim? I can't punch him up. Oh, we got to reset it, right? It's a reset. There it is. Now we got Tim. Go ahead. What's up, Timmy?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good.
I'm going through a similar thing. I was contacted, me, my brother and sister, and my 3 half-sisters were contacted by this, it's like a company that finds heirs for people that don't have heirs, so the government doesn't get the money. And right now, it's been almost 3 years. They said it would be 3 years or up to. What they do is they research the kin, and my father's passed, so we now are waiting. They sold his house for $650,000. Then he had musical instruments, $460,000 worth of guitars. So he must have had some really nice guitars. But what they do is they get 25%, and they're legit. I looked them up, but you have to make sure that this guy might just be one of those people that do this for a living.
He's Belgium. So he's in Belgium.
I'm sure Google goes to Belgium.
I looked up the firm. The firm has a website. So you're telling me this could be legit?
We did the same thing. We looked up the firm. They sent us regular reports on where we're at. They're working out now a deal for the landscaper. He owed the landscaper $15,000, so now they're settling that. And it takes forever, but I'm supposed to get $70,000 that I never knew about. Because they got.
So you don't think this? You don't think you've been? You don't think you've been hooked here?
Absolutely not. We've all. I mean, my half brothers and sister, I haven't seen in 30 years, and we've all got in touch with each other about this. And they only found 6 of us, and they're all legit. My father's second wife had 3 kids with him.
But here's the thing, Tim. I appreciate you because you're giving me hope here. But there are a ton of Missanellis in Italy. I can't be the only Missanelli. I come from a town called Missanello.
It has to do with how related you are to the person. We were supposed to get $120,000. Then they found a 7th heir, and he was closer related, so he got more than we did. So it knocked us down to $70,000.
Oh, my uncle.
So it's legit. Somebody's doing research.
My Uncle Eldrick, Ray. Timmy saying this is legit, Ray.
Hey, it's very possible, bro.
All right, Tim. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. There you go. He's giving me hope, Ray.
Be careful, Tim.
€9 million.
So
should I even take 55% of that? What is 55%? €9 million.
5.4 euro, 5.3, 5.2.
And I'd have to pay taxes on that. So I come out with almost $3 million.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is, if you were to get the money, it'd be a tremendous amount of money. I'm just concerned for you, Mike.
I could use an extra $3 million. What's the worst that could happen to me here?
I don't know. I have never
said. Let's try to play it out. What's the worst thing that could happen?
The worst thing that could happen.
Because he's not going to have access to my funds. What's the worst that could happen? What could he find out about me that would be detrimental to my life?
I don't know, man. Like, at some point, he's going to ask you for money.
Well, and he's not getting it. See, that's where I call it off. As soon as he asks for a penny, I'm out. So far, he has not asked for anything. So people in my situation, what would you do? Would you say this is a scam and drop it? Or would you continue to investigate it and play along?
I don't know. I'm not a very trusting individual.
I'm not either. Believe me. I don't trust anybody.
I just don't know what a guy in Belgium has to do with me. That's what That's what would be considered.
Guy in Belgium had Eldrick Missanelli as a client.
But I'm telling you, I've looked we did this on the air the other day. I looked it up. The right thing came up. There's other people that have been offered millions of dollars for Belgium. I'm leery of the thing, Mike. I'm trying to protect you.
Listen, I appreciate that. But as far if I don't give him any personal information other than a phone number and an address, what could he possibly do to me?
JM on the YouTube chat. He steals all the necessary information needed to open a line of credit.
You can't open a line of credit without my Social Security.
I'm just reading what JM said. I'm trying to give you the other side of this.
You need my Social Security number.
Everything in life has risk.
Open a line of credit on somebody's address.
I had JM saying I had $8K in unclaimed money I found about through that site. I don't know, man. I don't know. I got nothing. I feel like there is a downside here. Maybe I'm not smart enough to find the downside, but this stinks.
What do you think my original impression of this was? It's a scam.
Right.
Well, and it's a scam. If it continues, okay, you have the deposits there. I'm out. So I've taken it to the point where I'm corresponding with the man. He has not asked me for a penny yet. When does he ask me for the penny?
I don't know. I don't know what he can do with the information that he asked you for.
All right, there's got to be some expert out there. He asked me for my address and phone number, my marital status.
That's
what he asked for.
I guess inheriting. I don't know. Not something I would think to ask. I mean, it sounds like it sounds like the information that you would give outside the Social Security number for anything financial. But I guess if you can't get your Social Security number, you're fine. Is there any way you could get your Social Security number?
No. He's not getting that.
For 10 euros, would he? Or 10 million euros?
No. I'm not giving him any personal information that would enable him to poach money from me.
I guess not. Again, I feel like this guy's probably got a little bit of, ability.
He's got the gift of gab? Is that what you're saying?
Not the gift of gab, the gift of probably some sort of technologically savvy. Have we looked into this email account that he's emailing you from? That would be the first thing. Every time I get a text or I get an email that I think's a scam, I just go look at the address.
Listen, the man gave me his personal identification. Now, that might be a scam ID.
Yeah, I was going to say. I know about 100 plus people that have had identifications that might not be legitimate.
He looks like a handsome Belgian man.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe you have a new Belgian friend. Maybe I am just too cynical when it comes to these things.
Maybe you're right. But like I say, I'm going to take I'm inviting the audience to ride along with me here. Okay, I'll continue to play this out and keep the audience updated.
I just don't want to
care about my 9 million euros.
I just don't want to be doing a podcast, like a 10-part podcast about how Mike Missanelli ended up having everything taken.
Or Mike Missanelli comes in with 9 million euros and throws it in the air.
I mean, that would be great.
In front of the camera.
That would be ideal. I'm just saying I would be a key figure that gets interviewed in this podcast, this 60 minutes
You're getting $10 out of this, so don't shortchange yourself.
I know. I've already planned my vacation out. Don't worry.
610-632-0975. The News at News coming up at 12.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Deadline passes. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports update. After months of speculation, we finally got the answers to what the Phillies would do at the trade deadline. On Wednesday, the Phillies acquired Jhoan Duran to be the team's closer. They followed up on Thursday by making a second deal with the Twins for an outfielder in Harrison Bader. Dave Dombrowski met with the media following the deadline and addressed what he saw with the team.
There is no stone unturned, but we felt good with our club. We didn't have a lot of gaping holes. Some of, again, our offensive improvements going to have to come internally.
Phillies' new additions will be in uniform tonight as they open up a 3-game set with the Tigers at 6:45. Rangers Suarez on the mound. Prior to the game, Jimmy Rollins and Ed Wade will be inducted into the team's Wall of Fame. They're telling you to be in your seats by 6 o'clock if you're going to the game tonight to ensure you see the full ceremony. Eagles are less than a week away from the preseason opener. Return to the practice field today. Nick Sirianni was supposed to speak with the media this morning. He was under the weather. He did make practice, however. This update's brought to you by Wendy's. Wendy's has breakfast biscuits for just $1, including the Honey Buddy. Start your day off right. Gotta be Wendy's. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limited 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in a combo while supplies last. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
on what the Phillies did. And I think the grades have to be tempered by the fact that they made the big splash, then made a little splash, and then Mets and Padres came over the top rope with a slam, body slam. So let's go to our polls and our text board. Right, what do we have here?
All right, so Brandon on our YouTube, our wonderful YouTube producer, put out a poll on the YouTube saying, what grade would you give the Phillies trade deadline? Your options, A, B, C, D/F. So we had 239 votes coming in on the YouTube. 58% of people give the Phillies a B. 22% of people give them a C. 15% give them an A. And 4% go with that D or an F.
See, if they didn't get Harrison Bader, those numbers would be completely flipped. Don't you think? Isn't it weird? They added a player, but it somehow diluted the bigger splash.
Yeah, I think it diluted the bigger splash. I'm kind of, I don't want to say offended, but like surprised
I'm
that
totally
there's more
surprised.
people that would go C than A.
It's an A.
Like
whatever they got, even with Harrison Bader, it's still an A because you got Duran.
Right. I'm on that trend line of A and B, like probably an A- where I would go with this deadline because I wanted the impact bat. And as much as I'm defending the existence of Bader and the fact that, it's nice to see them do something, I would have liked a better bat. I don't know if there was a better bat that was to be moved. So,
You know what the problem is? We've seen too much of Kepler and Austin Hayeses of the world.
right, which I don't know. Maybe we've seen now. Has it been proven this season that if Austin Hayes doesn't have the kidney infection, it probably wasn't the worst move that ever happened? Like, you don't make that trade thinking, oh, the guy's going to have a kidney infection.
Yeah, but he was a more promising hitter than Bader was.
Yeah.
He had a good year the year before for the Orioles. And he looked like a guy that was being phased out because they had so many other players.
It is wild.
Bader brings the whole thing down, man. Not for me. Listen, I don't know what they're going to do with him. To me, the perfect solution is you bring up Crawford, you platoon Marsh and Bader in left field, you get rid of Kepler. And Rojas is gone. That to me, that would work.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be great energy. You brought Crawford up, and then you have a better platoon in left field, and you got the closer. I mean, that's good stuff.
I just think Bader's an upgrade of Rojas. And I think that's better in the outfield. And truthfully, I understand what his career's been, but you look at his OPS this season as compared to the OPS of every other outfielder on this team, it's a very low bar. You kind of trip over the bar when you go out and get someone.
Problem is he's going to strike out a lot.
But I think that's part of the approach now. That's why he's got more pop this season than he's ever had. He's got more pull power.
His approach is better now?
Yeah. I mean, his bat speed's up. He's got more pull power. I think you're kind of getting a different version of Bader at bat than what you've gotten previously in major leagues. I'm not saying he's an all-star because of his bat. I'm not saying he's going to be, a top-tier offensive target for teams this offseason. But it seems like he's a little different than what he's been before, and that's allowed him to find a little bit more pop this season as compared to prior years. Because I think he had a dozen home runs all of last season. He's already at that number at this point.
All right.
I know.
I'm more disappointed in people not seeing this as an A deal for the Phillies. Just think of Durant. I mean, Bader shouldn't weigh it down. Bader will be, he won't hurt you. He may not help you, but the other guy definitely will help you. So if you got a flat line and a high ceiling for a guy, that seems to me the deal would be good.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Duran, and I think you're right. If it had happened as the second deal, I think everyone gives him an A. I think people were expecting more of a bat because they had the anticipation of a bat after they took care of the bullpen.
Yeah.
I just don't see this. You're much closer to an A than you are to a C.
I agree. All right, so Mike Missanelli shows WPN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, BC Media Group station, and we're broadcasting from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. It is noontime. Enjoy your lunch, everybody, because it's now time for the news at noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
News at noon. We're going to start with something called the Scream Club in Chicago.
Yeah, I saw this on Twitter, and I understand it's not sports, so the people, never any real sports news in the news at noon. I'm sorry, guys, but this just was funny to me. I saw that apparently in Chicago, every Sunday, a group of people gather at Lake Michigan, and this is what happens.
2, 1.
I should have told you to turn down your radio before I played that. But they just yell into Lake Michigan. It's called Scream Club. Every Sunday, they just yell into Lake Michigan in Chicago.
How long do they yell?
Sounds like it goes on for a decent amount of time.
There
are multiple B-rolls there.
Well, you have to cut when you have to take a breath, right?
Right. So you can just keep
how many
going.
times do you yell? Is it just you just keep yelling for like a half hour to an hour?
I think it's whenever you get out of your system, whenever you need to yell.
Oh, really? That seems stupid.
I'm actually kind of in on the idea.
You are?
Yeah. Anyone that
yell in your house. You go to your backyard and yell. I don't know.
But then you got neighbors that are like, what's going on there? You know?
Go in the bathroom and you close the door and yell.
Ray Street Pier, people. I'll be there Sunday. Let's do it. Let's start the Scream Club in Philadelphia.
Very weird. All right, what's up next?
All right. Coming up next, college football workouts underway across the country. Arizona State's Kenny Dillingham just entertains the hell out of me. I'm a big fan of the weird quotes we get when he talks. He did not appreciate day 2 of his team's workouts. Take a listen to what he had to say about his team.
Yeah, we got to be better. I mean, like I said, our offense in general, too many drops on offense as a group. It was a bad day. I mean, it was a really, really bad day on offense. And it all stems from passion we play with. Is it okay to not make a play? And if you accept it, then you accept it. And that's who you're going to be. Don't be mad going 5-7. It's okay. Don't be mad going 6-6. Don't be mad going 3-9 because somebody has to go those records. There's going to be tons of teams who do it. Why not us? We didn't practice bad. What I mean by that is like we threw 1 pick. Like we didn't practice bad. We didn't practice with passion. We didn't care if we scored a touchdown. We didn't care if there was an interception, right? We didn't care if somebody made a great play for most of practice. We were just out here practicing. And to me, the best teams, it matters all the time. You want to win everything. And today we didn't have that mindset. We didn't want to win. We wanted to practice. And those are 2 different mindsets to me. You right? Good practice of complacency. It was a good practice for a bad team. It was an average practice for an average team.
All right, well, he's being honest. You like his honesty?
I love it. It's hilarious. Yeah, some teams have to go that record every year. You want to be 3-9, you'll be 3-9. Good for you.
Yeah, all right.
Already absolving himself, though. Like, yeah, these guys just don't care.
Yeah.
I can't do anything. It's day 2 of practice. Yeah. Apparently, they have no passion.
Not his fault. If that's the way it's practicing, then you should stop practicing and get him to practice it different.
I love the phrasing, good practice for a bad team.
Yeah. By the way, it was the opposite of what we heard from Sirianni today. Here's what we heard from Sirianni. That's right.
Yep.
He didn't say anything. He didn't have a pre-practice presser because he was under the weather. And the trainers got him back in line, got him healthy enough to conduct practice. I've never heard of any NFL coach missing a practice from being sick, ever, first of all. So he wasn't going to miss the practice. But it was so easy. It's always so easy to miss the media session.
Is he okay? Like, I need some sourcing on this. We got 75,000 people on that feed.
He's fine. I don't know. It seems like he didn't even want to talk to the press today. That's my read on it.
But is he incapable of speaking? Is he lost his voice?
No. We haven't heard anything like that, right?
I just want to know what stops you from speaking to the press. Like, it's 10 minutes. I know people I'll leave our coach alone.
You know what stops you from speaking? Lack of respect. That's what stops you from speaking. You don't have to do anything you don't want to because it's just the press. No, never mind the fact they're bringing the information to the people. Because most people will say, well, what are you picking on Nick for?
We already got that. People
of course.
Who cares?
What are you picking on Nick for? Well, no, because the media people are the ones bringing you the information, the daily information on what goes on at practice. So obviously the media is not important to you. Makes me sick. Start respecting the media more.
It's awesome.
What's next?
He's sticking his middle finger to those media guys.
Exactly.
All right. And the last one here, in New York, they got a chance to talk to Russell Wilson. WFAN got a chance to talk with him, and they asked the one question that I always wanted to ask the man
If you could go back in time and not hit post on Mr. Unlimited video, would you do it?
I would still do it, man. I got kids saying unlimited. I got it in person. It's like, come on. But we're having fun, man.
And for those that don't know what I'm talking about, this is the starting quarterback for the Giants to start the season.
Hey guys, Russell here. Yes, the typical boring, Russell, the robot Russell, the one you guys love to know. Real exciting. I'm real exciting. But anyways, everybody has to have an alter ego, right? And I've been thinking about what my alter ego would be, and I think I have an alter ego. His name's Mr. Unlimited. You got to be unlimited. You got to have a thought process of being unlimited. So when people ask you, what you're thinking about or what you want to do in life or where you want to go, you got to be unlimited. Tell them I'm unlimited.
That's enough of that.
He's such a nerd.
He is, but I'm so glad someone finally asked him, hey, man, if you could just, wipe that from existence on the internet, would you? And there is no way he could truthfully believe that he would not wipe that thing away. We have all done things in our lives that were like, yeah, if I had it back, I would probably not do that again. That has to be one of his. There is no way.
That's total weirdness.
That he would keep Mr. Unlimited. Unlimited.
Sounds like Bad Boys. Mike Lowry.
When they ask you what you want to be, say unlimited. There is not a chance that he wants that still out there. The amount of crap he has to have taken for that.
Yeah, but I think he's oblivious. I really think he's oblivious to his own nerdness.
You can't be at some point.
I think he is. I think that's why he turns many people off, because he's just he's oblivious to it.
With enough years of life, you have to be able to look back and say, you know what? That Mr. Unlimited was stupid.
Mike Lobby.
But I appreciate them asking the question.
All right. That's the end of the news at noon today. We'll take a quick break. We got Alex and Howard, who thinks the letter is fake. It might be, but I'm playing it out, folks. I'm giving each and every one of you $1. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts.
We're still
12:11. Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. Happy noontime hour, everybody. It's a lot cooler of a day today. What's the weekend going to be like, Ray?
A lot of moving.
Oh, you're moving this weekend?
Yep. I started the process
Your weekend
last night.
move, huh?
Yeah.
You got buddies that are helping you?
I got a couple friends that come by, yeah, they're going to help me out. So.
Well, that's the worst. Ask a friend to help you move.
So that's the crazy thing. I had my softball game Wednesday night, and one of the couples, we play a co-ed team, so one of the couples on the team, they actually offered to help. Like, sincerely. Are they not just the greatest people in the world?
Yeah, they are, until they hurt their back.
Right. But yeah, no, there's going to be definitely pizzas, beer, and things provided for the help there. But it was funny because one of my other friends hears them offer to move, and he's standing there in the conversation, and you could just see the look on his face of like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Now I got to at least pretend like I want to help you move.
Yeah.
I was like, no, that's all right, man. Like,
no good.
You got it. I'm sure your Saturday's real busy.
Telling you.
I'm sure you got plenty going on.
When you make enough money that you can actually hire somebody to move you, do it.
I'm already feeling it from yesterday. I can only imagine it's going to get worse for this weekend.
It's the best money you could ever spend.
You and I are going to have a 2-for-1 doctor's appointment coming up at some point.
Yeah. I got to a point where the last time I moved, I didn't even pack my clothes.
Wow.
It's like, you do it.
Please. Yeah.
And the moving companies will do that for you. That's what I advise.
Now, see.
Man, when they get this $9 million, there's no way I'm going to live in a box ever.
Absolutely. Never again. Mm-hmm. Now, this YouTuber, raised from the me generation, can't understand doing something for someone else. I'm talking about myself moving. I help people move all the time.
Do you?
Yeah. So my best friends moved into a new apartment. I was there, lifting the couch, moving the thing. I want to help people with stuff. I'll help move.
Good for you.
But usually I get free food and beer out of it. That's a good trade for me.
You're still young enough to not be bothered by moving some kind of a bed, headboard up the stairs, you know?
By the way, that was my big purchase this week. I decided to hell with the bed frame that I've had.
That's a good move. Buddy.
New bed frame.
Now, did you get a adjustable base? There's no way anybody on earth who's had an adjustable base could ever live again without adjustable base.
Well, that's good because I did not.
You did not?
No.
Okay. When you get spoiled by an adjustable base, you'll never go back.
Okay. So that's good because I don't think I can keep myself in that tax bracket yet. So
they're not that expensive now.
I got a great deal.
You prop yourself up. You can push the TV button and put you into a perfect TV thing. You press the 0G button that puts you into a 0G mode. Oh, it's the best ever.
Next bed.
I can't live without it. All right, let's go to the phones. We got, let's see. We'll start with Howard in Douglasville. Howard, here we go. You got to reset again, Ray. There's the gremlins in the system again. All righty, here we go with Howard in Douglasville. What's up, Howard?
Hey, Michael.
How are you?
So, good. So let's start with the Phillies first.
Mm-hmm.
I think what most people's problem is, they started out with such a bang. You know, they got the A-plus move.
Yeah.
And then they saw everybody else making the trades, and there was 1 billion trades yesterday.
They really were. It was an exciting time, actually.
And then they got Harrison, and they were like, really? This is what we did today? So I think that's what was the doggy downer of it.
I think it was, too. But, you know, it shouldn't dilute the fact that you got the main guy that you needed anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should. You shouldn't, like, bang pots and pans outside your house for Harrison Bader. But, you know, it still doesn't erase the fact they got Duran.
No, but I think that's what happened. You know, they were on the tip of getting to Mount Everest, and then all of a sudden that happened. So it brought them down. But so my second point is, I was bored Saturday night, and I was going through all the channels, and you're right. Banana Ball is just asinine.
It's going to be on again. Wait, when is it? Is it tonight? Is it on tonight?
I don't care. It's horrible. But I did, in skipping through my channels, I did notice something else. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this. There's a world championship for everything anymore. And the one thing I saw was skipping rocks.
What channel was that on?
I have no idea. But apparently this guy has a world record of like 86 skips. But he was a world champion rock skipping.
Hey, that must be a long pond, man, for 86 skips.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, I started laughing. I'm like, really, a world championship for this?
Guy's got a good arm.
Now for the more pressing.
More pressing issue. Yes, my letter?
Yeah. So, he already has your address.
He does have my address.
Didn't he sent you the letter?
He did. You're right. He's got my address already.
Awesome. And you were talking to Amy. And I thought you said to Amy that he was going to take 10% for charity.
Yes. No, there's no. I think he said there was whatever charitable, whatever. There's going to be a contribution to charity, but 10% would go to him.
Oh, I thought 10% was going to the charity. Then that would leave 90%, which if he took half, that would be 45.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I misspoke. All right, I tried to.
You know what?
I'm going to clarify with.
I think you need to get Amy on this because I liked her yesterday. She was busting your.
She was
about it.
She was,
and I kind of enjoyed it.
All right, man. I appreciate it, but
he has your address.
But yeah, he does. So your instincts said, should I keep rolling with this thing?
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey, as long as it's not costing you money, and he's not pissing you off, who cares?
Not costing me any money, that's for sure. All right, you got it, buddy. Appreciate the call.
That's my theory.
Thanks, I appreciate it, Howard. You got it. Yeah, I have to look at the original letter.
Yeah, so he said that charity thing. I thought that charity thing happened because once he said it, I remember making the human fund joke.
Yeah. So did I misspeak here?
No, I think he's being inconsistent.
He's being inconsistent.
Yes.
I'm going to have to look at his first one.
I don't know. You know how I feel about this. I'm very concerned about you.
Yeah, listen, I'm pretty savvy. Yeah?
I know you're pretty savvy. I'm not saying that I think you're falling for this. I just don't like giving out more information. And now that's a really good point by Howard. If you got a letter, he's got the address. Why does he need your address again?
Well, for the file.
But he has it on file. That's how the letter got to you.
You're right. Let's see what he wants. Full legal name, current residential address, which he already has. But maybe he just read. Maybe that's a script that's what they asked for. Mm-hmm. Occupation and professional title. Mm-hmm. Contact telephone number. Mm-hmm. Age. Marital status. I guess the marital status is asked because if I was married, would the wife have a claim to some of these funds?
Yes. Mike, I don't like it. I don't like it. I can't really explain it any more than that. It feels fishy. The Reddit thing freaked me out. I'm.
It's a well-constructed letter.
I'm out.
According to the insurance company's internal regulatory framework, any insured fixed deposit that remains unclaimed after a period of 10 years is automatically classified as unserviceable and must be surrendered to EDIS. So it would go to the state. This is why he's in now.
Yeah,
he's coming in because he's saying, all right, this is unclaimed. It's going to go to the state. Maybe I can get a little claim out of it.
I forget what it took for me to sign up for a credit card, but it sounds like that information.
Listen, man, I got a phone number for the guy.
I guess. I'm just saying.
International phone number.
Like, what if this dude's actually not Belgium? He's just taking a trip to Belgium on your dime after this. Open up a credit card.
Wait, he's got to have my dime. You're going to get my dime. Right. I'm not giving him any money. I told you that.
I know you said that. I'm saying, how can he get access to your money with this?
He can't get access to my money. You can't get access to somebody's money.
What does it? Okay. Yeah, I guess he still needs your social. I mean, that's the only personal information he's down for being able to open a credit card on you. That's what concerns me.
Okay.
That's what concerns me.
All right.
I'm worried about your money, Mike.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I don't want to see 9 million euros go the other way.
No, 9 million euros are going to me. We're going to celebrate together.
5.2 before taxes.
All right. 610-632-0975. We'll get back to our text board comments. Jimmy Rollins going on the Wall of Fame tonight. Why is he not as appreciated as I anticipate? Why is he not getting more acclaim for the Hall of Fame? And what would you do now with the outfield with Harrison Bader being part of the picture? Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The deadline passes. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. After months of speculation, we finally got the answer as to what the Phillies would do at the trade deadline on Wednesday. The Phillies acquired Jhoan Duran from the Twins to be the team's closer, and they followed up Thursday by making a second deal with the Twins for outfielder Harrison Bader. Dave Dombrowski met with the media following the deadline.
There was no stone unturned, but we felt good with our club. We didn't have a lot of gaping holes. Some of, again, our offensive improvements going to have to come internally.
Phillies' new additions will be in uniform tonight as they open up a 3-game set with the Tigers at 6:45 with Ranger Suarez on the mound. Prior to the game, Jimmy Rollins and Ed Wade will be inducted into the team's Wall of Fame. The team is telling you to be in your seats by 6 o'clock for that ceremony if you're going to the game tonight. And, of course, that will also be streamed. I believe they're carrying that one over NBC Sports Philadelphia. So 6 o'clock tonight if you want to see the remarks ahead of the Wall of Fame induction. Eagles less than a week away from the preseason opener. They return to the practice field today. Nick Sirianni, under the weather today, did not meet with the media as scheduled, but was able to coach practice. This update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Looking for exceptional driving experience? Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Mike Missanelli Show, 12 o'clock hour of the show. It's brought to you by Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing for 48 months, rebates, tax credits up to $4,300. Then you purchase a heating and cooling system. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. And I'd be remiss not to mention our deal of the week, which is a good one. $50 voucher to Mezza Mediterranean Grill for half price, just $25. Flavor pack Mediterranean bowls, wraps, salads made with the freshest locally sourced ingredients. Locations of Metzer and King of Prussia, Conshohocken, Mount Laurel, and Hamilton. Get this exclusive offer while supplies last on our website, 975thefanatic.com. Let's get to, Alex in Bethlehem checking in. Alex, are you a big fan of what the Phillies did?
Like you missed, Ray, absolutely. Absolutely, Mike, we got the best player in the entire trade deadline.
Yeah, maybe. He and Mason Miller, I think, are right there.
Mike, Miller's career ERA, 3.17. Duran, 2.47. And this guy is just consistent. 4 years in the big leagues. He's always healthy and available. And the dude throws 102. Like, I'm all in. And I think Harrison Bader is, by the end of the year, fans are going to come around on him. Because I think he's going to help the team win.
You think so? All right, maybe. I hope so. I don't think much of him. But you're right. I love the first acquisition. And even if they didn't add Bader, I was saying that one acquisition made them World Series eligible. I really do believe he's going to have that kind of an impact.
It really was a big trade deadline. People are acting like it was underwhelming, but the Phillies did a lot by going out and getting Duran.
No, it was crazy deadline, man. It was fun to follow along. Like, I was watching ESPN when I got home after the show, and all the activities that was going with passing, being plugged in, and letting everybody in on what's happening. I don't know how he does that, man. I guess the agents contact him. He's pretty good at it.
That's very true. Great point. But lastly, Mike, I just wanted to just discuss Jimmy Rollins and just how much fun I had watching him play the shortstop position, the smoothest shortstop I've ever seen, a leader, one of the all-time great Phillies.
I agree, and I think he should be in the Hall of Fame or considered, but he hasn't gotten much support at all, so that'll probably never happen for him.
He and Ryan Howard, it's unfortunate, but they both belong.
Yeah, I don't think Ryan Howard belongs. Ryan, how many home runs did he end up with?
384.
That's not enough.
382. Once.
Yeah, that's not enough.
I'm probably the biggest fan of Howard that exists.
Yeah.
And even I would say now.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Got the late start and had the Achilles.
Yeah.
Well, kind of a what if.
He came up late. Yeah, he came up too late.
Kind of a what if for him.
Yeah,
but
it was.
He'll have one of the greatest power surges I think we've ever watched.
You know what's really funny about Ryan Howard? I got to tell this story because my buddy Jeff Manto as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jeff Manto managed him. And was it Lakewood? Might have been Lakewood. So I said, I was talking to him one day. You got anybody down there that's really promising for the big club? He said, yeah, we got this big left-handed power hitter, but the organization doesn't think much of him. It was Ryan Howard.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, he was kind of missed on that.
He was his manager in Lakewood, Jeff was.
Could you imagine if they didn't think much of him and ended up unloading him?
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess as he surged through the system, they realized what they had.
Right, we just would have been scarred.
Lakewood was hot, high A, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to Will in Horsham. Will, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Will?
Hey, Mike. Big fan. Been listening to you since I'm a little guy.
Thanks,
riding
buddy.
around in the truck with my dad.
I appreciate it.
I just want to tell you, watching out for you. Don't give this bozo any more personal information. You do very well for yourself, I'm sure. I'm sure you guys.
I don't do 9 million euros. Well, come on, that's big cash.
This is just some guy that's going to open a credit card in your name, and you're going to have to deal with all the legal headaches when everybody's looking for the money from you.
Well, listen. He has my address already. I guess he could open a credit card in my name now. Anybody could do that, I guess, right?
It wasn't the same story fed to my cousin, but my cousin dealt with a similar issue. Somebody got hold of their info, opened a credit card in her name, And that's what it was. It was, a month, probably a month or better so.
But you need a Social Security to open a credit card, don't you? You need a Social Security number.
I would think you do, but I'm just kind of leaning on that that's what's going on here. If that's what it sounds like, at least.
Well, if he asks for my Social Security number, I'm out. If he asks for a contribution, I'm out. So I'm playing this along to the point where I'm smart enough to know where if he wants information that could damage me, I'm out.
Yeah. Well, anyway, just wanted to make that.
All right. I appreciate.
My mom down to the game tonight for Jimmy Rollins.
Oh, nice. That'd be a fun time.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
Any chance that Duran's playing tonight?
Yeah, he is.
No?
Will he be independent tonight?
Both should be in uniform tonight. Bader and Duran.
Both of them should be in uniform tonight. Yeah, I have to make a move, right? Do we know the move they've made yet?
We do not.
Okay.
Wait for that even.
They will have to make a move. Yeah, we'll have fun down there, Will. And I appreciate everybody looking out for me. And I did clarify this, by the way. The original letter to me said that should the claim be approved, the distribution of funds will proceed as follows. 10% will be allocated to recognized charitable organizations in tribute to the late policyholder's memory, while the remaining 90% will be shared equally between us. So that's where the 45 comes from. So I was mistaken. So all along it's been 45. Now, my object here, if that's the case, is to barter that down and up for me. Yes, I'd be willing to go through this, but not at an even split. So that would give me sort of an upper hand. And if he says no, well, then maybe I know it's a scam.
I mean, I already feel like I have a good grasp on this one being a scam. But in this world, do you think he's going to be like, well, I'm offering this guy 9 million euros. He wants more of the percentage. He can have no money, or he can have 45%.
But if I don't say yes, he doesn't get anything.
I think he moves on to the next Missanelli.
But I'm the preferred heir.
For now.
He moves on to the next Missanelli.
You said your cousin's a great guy out there in Italy.
I've got a lot of Missanelli cousins in Italy.
What was his name? Your cousin that you hung out with out there?
Filippo.
Yeah, Filippo's getting a call next.
Wow.
You think Filippo would split it with you?
I think Filippo would be generous.
Are you going to send
Filippo and
anything
I
to
got
Filippo?
along famously when I went to Italy and hung out with him.
Have you contacted Filippo about
I have not contacted Filippo. I tried to get him on Facebook, but I have to pay the extra money to get the message to him.
What?
Yeah, there's on Facebook, you just can't send a message to somebody if you look them up. Some have a guard on it where you have to do Facebook Elite or something.
Oh, wow. Shows how much I'm on that platform.
Yeah. You have to, it's called whatever.
Facebook Plus? We finally have Facebook
free.
Plus?
Yeah, it's like a Facebook Plus. Free for like 3 months, and then credit card gets charged, which I don't want to go through anymore.
I've been advocating for Fanatic Plus.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think
little paywall?
I think we need exclusive behind-the-scenes content.
Okay.
Which is just Bill and I yelling at each other off the air.
Bill came in there. Did you guys get into another beef?
I didn't really have enough time to get into a beef with him because he came in while we were on the air.
Yeah, why did he come in there? What did he want?
He was checking. He was actually being nice. He was checking up on the concert last night.
He was checking up on the concert.
Yes. I was at the weekend concert last night.
Why didn't you tell anybody about that?
I posted.
Well, why haven't you said anything about it today? How good was the weekend concert?
Oh, it was incredible.
Shout
out Fadi, our wonderful listener who hooked me up last night with the tickets.
Wait, you got free tickets from somebody?
I offered you this.
Yeah, I wasn't in on that, but
yes, you were.
Yeah, no. I remember you saying it, but I didn't. I couldn't go. But you got free tickets from a listener?
Yeah, works for the weekend.
Wow,
but he's the man.
Oh, that's nice of the guy. What's his name?
Fadi? Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Great guy.
Fadi.
Appreciate it. The seats were incredible down there in the
field.
field.
You had good seats? You weren't in the race seats?
No, I was down. I was amongst the people. I was looking around like, wow, these people must do really well for themselves. Huh? This is a nice spot to be. Yeah, but hook me up. The seats were tremendous. The concert was great. Weekend, kind of underrated, I feel like.
Wow.
Doesn't get the acclaim he deserves.
No, I think he's a great performer. I really do.
He really was. Yeah. Last night it was tremendous. And the rain, I kind of like a little concert in the rain. Like not pouring.
It was out. Where was this?
The Link.
Oh, was that the Link?
Back-to-back nights at the Link.
Oh my God, he sold that. He sold them out
twice. It's good though.
Wow,
Great time. Also threw a couple Go Birds at us.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He really loves playing to the crowd.
Yeah.
He really, the number of times he said Philadelphia throughout his set, you could tell he had a little Bryce Harper streak in him. He loves
Nice.
a good little pander.
Good pander.
Yeah.
All right, for the weekend. I bet at the weekend. I saw the review in the Inquirer. They said it was good. Good. So.
Yeah, it was pretty.
All right, 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now, a Birds Insider Update on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Sirianni's sick. I'm Ray Dunn with this Birds Insider Update. We were supposed to hear from the head coach today, Nick Sirianni, but apparently under the weather. So Sirianni did not meet with the media, worked with the trainers, was able to be out there for practice. As for the Birds, the number of guys that were unable to practice today was a considerable list as we get a week away, less than a week away now at this point, from the first official preseason game. The Birds with a couple of guys sitting out, unable to practice. Zach Bowen with the back, E.J. Jenkins, hamstring, Terrace Marshall with the knee, Mac McWilliams with the quad, Devontae Smith with the back, Nolan Smith still concussed, and Ben Van Sumer with the ankle. All of them not practicing today, and a number of Eagles also limited throughout practice today. The one big competition that everyone keeping their eyes on right now, of course, that second quarterback position. It seems like, according to reports at practice, that Adoree Jackson right now seems to be the guy over Keely Ringo. Again, it's very early. There's still plenty of camp to go, but that second cornerback spot going to be something that we continue to watch. And that safety spot, Cooper G getting a lot of love for his play at safety so far today. Andrew Bakuba once again limited in practice due to a shoulder, so be interested to see how the secondary shapes out going forward as we continue through training camp. Again, less than a week to go until the first preseason game. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
So, big development here. Bill Colarulo is going down to give me a cup of coffee. This is why when he becomes a big star, and somebody brings him out, Bill Colarulo, what'd you think about it? That's the guy who used to give me coffee.
You know, we had Rothstein on the show a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah?
And that was one of the first things he said. He's like, you know, what was my big break of this? Literally, like, unprompted on the phone. He's like, I just get Stephen A. and Mike coffee all the time. He's like, that's how I got into this industry. He's like, keep it up, kid. And I was like, great. Thanks, man.
Yeah, John Rothstein was up in New York when we were up there. He would do anything. He really would.
He made it sound like off the air.
Yeah, he would scrap and claw, get information, and run down leads, and do research, and when, you know, like Stephen A. would ask him for the coffee. He would just bring me one also. You know.
But it's funny because you guys made fun of me, I think, a couple months back when we had Josh Shapiro on. There's a few guests that, like, when we have them on, every once in a while I try to, you know, I'll get an extra minute of the conversation here before I put them on the air with you guys. Rothstein was one of those guests that we had just because followed him forever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the immediate, like, oh, I loved working with Mike. Working with Mike was great. And he, like, went through the rundown and was like, yeah. I used to get him Stephen A. coffee all the time. It's like that was my like getting into the industry moment.
Well, it was actually.
Yeah.
You know, he now he's a big star. You know, a big CBS star, and he would do anything. He was one of these guys that was willing to do anything. Oh, we see a bunch of a lot of guys here are the same way. A lot of hard working young fellas here at the radio station.
A lot of people running around.
Yeah, so that's all good. I appreciated that from John and Bill.
And Bill.
I appreciate it more that Bill's getting me coffee.
Yeah, I do too.
You know?
I do too. I appreciate that about him.
All right,
it's very nice of him. He's not going to win me back, but it's very nice.
Yeah, let's go to Richard and Devin. Richard, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Rich?
Michael, first things first, I'm so happy that you're back on the air. I've been listening to you since S&M.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
Yes. Now, about this letter that you got.
Yes.
I think the whole thing might be a smokescreen. There's something called social engineering. And he is collecting little bits and pieces of who you are. It's very sophisticated, very sophisticated. And he may or may not need a social security number to gain access to some of your accounts. He might just be able to change your password. He might just gain access through, as he's continuing to talk to you, you might be revealing little pieces of information. He has your phone number, he has your address, he has your email, he has a couple of things about you. I would recommend that while you're talking and he's keeping your attention about the shiny thing, all the money that you may be getting, he's collecting this information. I work in banking, and we get tested every few months and reminded about social engineering and how people gain little pieces of information about someone, and then they can just log into something. Google will use whatever data you want. Google social engineering and see what comes up.
Okay.
Now, there's been no crime committed yet. However, Philadelphia Police Department, FBI, they have a cyber crimes department.
Yeah.
And they will say, well, there's been no crime. But they may be able to research this guy even further to expose him.
All right. So who would I contact in doing that?
I don't know. You'd have to look up social cybercrime, FBI.
Okay.
And they'll give you an email address, and even the Philadelphia Police Department or wherever you live.
Yeah.
They would be able to do it too. I know this because I've seen people come into the bank who have been victims, and they said, "I got to get my money back."
Yeah.
You released this money. Somebody. The scam was, you're going to get $14 million. Just send us a fee of $3,000.
Hold on a second. Bill, get on YouTube. Bill bringing me coffee. Bill, here it is. Bill bringing me coffee, and he brought me sugars. And he knows I don't eat sugar, but that's all right. Thanks, Bill. All right. No, Richard, thank you for the information. Listen, I'm no dummy. I'm proceeding very cautiously here. I don't understand how he's already get my address, how he would have getting my phone number or my marital status or my whatever would lead him to break into my accounts.
It's just more information.
Okay.
More information because All these companies, if you go, I got to change my password, well, identify yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so they'll ask you these questions.
Okay. All right.
All right,
I
and they'll
appreciate
continue to do it bit by bit by bit.
Thank you, Richard.
Counselor, you know what to do.
I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Listen, I'm like when I first got this, I laughed. Like, I'm not one of you. Oh my God, I'm $9 million richer. I laughed at it. But I'm playing along to the point where I go, okay, I get it. It's a scam.
See, I purchased things at the apartment with the thought that you were getting the 9 million euros. And I was like, he's joking about 10. He's probably giving me $100, So at this point,
now I'm
out.
I got to give you $100 now. I got to give Bill. I'm indebted to Bill because he brought me coffee.
Nah. That's like a nice little peace offering. I think
peace offering from Bill.
Me and him have been after it. He knows that.
Did he get you coffee?
No, no coffee for me. No, I did tell him not to get me.
You want to share?
No, I'm all right. Thanks, though.
Okay.
No, I'm okay. I had coffee earlier.
Okay.
That's honestly on me. That hand up, I probably should have texted you that I was stopping at Starbucks. That's not a foxhole
you
move
knew
on me.
you knew it. You knew the coffee machine was down earlier.
Yes. Yes. That's on me.
Yeah, you would think they would be able to replace a coffee machine.
Well.
No, maybe not.
Yeah, no, I would think that too. I don't know what happened to it. I just saw the email that the coffee machine was down, and I was like, all right, well, I usually get coffee in the morning anyways, so I made sure to stop, get something a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
Get me through the day. I usually go a second cup here.
On the other side, I'm looking at this coffee cup, and it says compostable, which is always good, right?
Right.
I read a story in the Inquirer today where now there's a trend for human composting.
I did see this.
Did you see this story?
I did see this story.
We're going to get to it on the other side. But in the meantime, I am flabbergasted that we don't have any managers out there that are trying to tell me what the outfield configuration should be, even though I've been screaming for it. What do you want? Marsh and Bader in center field? Marsh and Bader in left field with Crawford in center field? Or the same, Kepler, Bader, Marsh, Rojas. 610-632-0975.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The deadline passes. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. After months of speculation, we finally got the answer as to what the Phillies would do at the trade deadline. On Wednesday, the Phillies acquired Jhoan Duran from the Twins to be the team's closer, and they followed that up on Thursday by making a second deal with the Twins, this time for outfielder Harrison Bader. Dave Dombrowski met with the media following the deadline.
There was no stone unturned, but we felt good with our club. We didn't have a lot of gaping holes. Some of, again, our offensive improvements going to have to come internally.
Phillies' new additions will be in uniform tonight. They open up a 3-game set with the Tigers at 6:45 with Ranger Suarez on the mound. Prior to the game, Jimmy Rollins and Ed Wade will be inducted into the team's Wall of Fame. The team is saying to be in your seats by 6 o'clock for that ceremony. And also, if you want to tune into it, whether it be on TV, online, 6 o'clock to get the entire ceremony prior to the game. Eagles less than a week away from their preseason opener. Return to the practice field today. Nick Sirianni was scheduled to speak, apparently under the weather, though he was able to make it to practice. This update is brought to you by AAA Tire and Auto Service. Visit your local AAA Tire and Auto Service location and save $40 on any repair of $150 or more. This offer is valid through August 1st through the August 30th. See store for complete details. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
55, we're going into the danger zone. That's coming up on the 1 o'clock hour. Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic, 610-632-0975. Phil's tonight. Let's see what are the odds on that. I think the Phillies are minus 155 tonight, Ray, against the Detroit Tigers. Jack Flaherty, 6-10, 4.51 ERA against Ranger Suarez, who's looking to bounce back. It will just be an interesting game to follow Ranger. The Phillies minus 155, substantial favorite Ranger tonight. You like him?
You can't lose Jimmy Rollins tonight. You just can't.
Can't lose on Jimmy Rollins night.
You really can't. I'm sorry.
Well, it's Ed Wade night, too.
And Ed Wade night, of course.
You could lose on Ed Wade night, couldn't you?
You can't lose on Jimmy Rollins
I guess you
night.
could.
You can't lose on Jimmy Rollins.
All right, so Ranger Suarez, a big fave tonight. I don't know if I would bet this game tonight. I'm not feeling it. I'm not think much of Jack Flaherty, but I'm just not. I don't know what to think about Ranger right these days. Get back to the phones. We got Bill in Springfield checking in. Bill, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Bill.
Hey, Mikey.
What's up, Bill?
Fantastic to have you back on the radio, dude.
Thank you, buddy.
It's a great show. Anyway, so smoking gun for the inheritance, right? So when people put together their wills, their estate planning, right? Like charities typically would be handled by that estate, right? Like, so the fact that there's any sort of, charity, it just feels like a sweetener for a scam, right? Like that's what it feels like with the charity aspect.
No, all right, here's the thing. All right, so the guy died, and he has no surviving children, no known heirs, and the policy benefits is unclaimed. As far as this letter says, 10% will be allocated to the recognized charitable organizations in tribute to the late policyholder's memory. So I assume that this portfolio consultant has decided to do that. Not because there's no designation from the deceased of it where the charity would go.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I'd like to believe it's real for you, I think it might be a scam, bro.
I think you're right. I think it's a scam too. However, I'm like the fighter throwing jabs. Bib.
Yeah.
I'm just testing the flesh a little bit.
Yeah. Well, who knows? All right. So I do want to be a little bit of a manager if I can. So it has to be Bader, right? Bader. First of all, we got to call up Crawford, right? So center field Crawford, left field Bader, and Marsh / Kepler, whoever you want to DFA.
Kepler's got to go.
In that case, really doesn't matter.
Yeah, if they brought up Crawford, Kepler would be DFA'd, I think, and it would be Marsh Bader.
So that's got to be the. I can't do Johan Rojas anymore.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
I don't want to see him anymore. Thanks, Mikey.
All right, man.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking me the call today.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it. How come people always used to hammer me for hating Rojas, and now everybody's on board? We used to hammer. What's your problem with Rojas? Can't hit. He can't play.
They've got alternatives
He's a AAA
now.
player. He's not a major league player.
They've got alternatives now.
They do. But at the time, it's like, oh, Rojas. Look, he's so fast. He makes great plays in the outfield. And a tip-off from me, can't admire your catch. Then you lose me. Can't take an iPad and look at your catch 150 times because you made a good catch.
I mean,
tells me a lot about you as a player.
I've watched that catch a number of times.
You have. You're a fan. He's the guy who made the catch. Make another catch. Forget this one you just made. It's nice. You should feel good about yourself for 3 seconds. You're going to look it over and over again? Always bug me. 1 o'clock, Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic, WPN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting from the Xfinity Studio, powering possibilities. All right, let's start the 1 o'clock hour. We got a lot of texts coming in on this, what they did yesterday at trade deadline, what they're going to be from now on. I think people got a little skittish Not only because they added Harrison Bader, but because the Padres, with the top rope, Mason Miller, Ryan O'Hearn, Laureano, Freddie Fermin, and then the Mets with Mullins, Ryan Helsley, and Tyler Rogers. So the question right now, Ray, is are the Mets with their additions better than the Phillies with their additions?
The Phillies acquired the best player. The Mets have more talent in their bullpen. And so, if you want to grade out the deadline, I think the Mets bullpen got better more as a whole. The Phillies got the better pitcher, probably the better situation for the future, but the Mets bullpen is certainly better.
The Mets also had 2 holes in the field. They had a big center field hole. They had a second base hole. Now they've got the center fielder, which allowed now Jeff McNeil to play second base full time, even though he's not the greatest second baseman. It adds another bat at second base.
Yeah, I'm.
So is their lineup better?
I probably would take their top 4 to the Phillies' top 4.
You would take the Mets' top 4 over the Phillies' top 4?
The Soto, Lindor, Alonso, Nimmo 4 to the Turner, Harper, Schwarber, Bohm.
All right, 5 Mullins, 5 Phillies.
Is Mullins going to be their 5? I guess.
Mullins, he'd be in there somewhere.
I'm not a big Mullins guy. Like the Mullins addition.
I think Mullins is going to have a good time with that Mets. I really do. I think that Baltimore situation beat him down a little bit. I think he's a good player.
I think he was a good player for 2021. I think that he's been trying to recapture that magic for a while. I'm not a big Mullins guy, but Mullins, Bader, to me, the additions these two teams make, their outfields, I don't see their situations got tremendously better. I just see that there's more arms for the Mets to have. The Mets, to me, already had their lockdown closer, so the Phillies got the more marquee player, but they can throw a lot of different things at you. And they probably just need their starters to get you through 5.
So what are we saying? Mets are a tad better. Is that what we're saying?
I would say
you haven't been saying it. You're inching there. You're getting close to saying it.
I said it before the Phillies-Mets series, and the Phillies took 2 of 3. So in the interest of motivating this crew to continue to win, yeah. I feel probably better about the Mets right now.
All right. Let's go to text board. Do they feel better about the Mets? Any text in the situation?
People more slamming the Padres for...
Slamming?
Just everyone's talking about them, but... Oh, here we go. Everyone talking about the Padres, the Mets, but guess who's second in the Vegas odds for the World Series? The Phillies, Larry and Haddonfield. And we had another text earlier saying that the Padres aren't close enough to winning to sell everything, and that they made a mistake. I don't have that exact texter up, but that was the gist of it.
I can't understand how anybody could say the Padres made a mistake. They couldn't have given a flip about their prospects. They got the number 3 prospect overall in baseball and flipped them. Got Mason Miller. They got Ryan O'Hearn, who's having a great year as a hitter. Laureano, who's a 15 home run guy and a starting catcher. I don't understand. You got 3 starting positions in that trade deadline, plus Mason Miller.
AJ Preller is the closest thing you have to the way a fan would run a team.
Probably.
And the reckless abandon. It's incredible to watch.
The Padres are viable, except for the fact when I think of how sluggy their top players are at times.
Again, if they don't lock in October, I'd be shocked.
All right, let's go back to the phones, and we'll talk to Lance in Arizona. What's up, Lance?
So with the Padres, their bullpen was already ridiculous before they made that trade.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous now because you had 3 All-Stars and you added 8 Mason Miller, so they can shorten that game. So if their starters just give them 5, that you're going to have to try to beat the bullpen, which was incredible before this. But
you're right. That it's funny. There's 2 schools of thought. The Phillies have a starting rotation that maybe can get you to 7, and the Padres don't care. They'll go 4 or 5 and light you up with their bullpen.
Yeah, exactly. So, my thing with the Phillies was this. I didn't mind their deadline. It was a solid deadline. I think it was better than some of the other ones he did. The issue really comes down to if you did a better job in the off season, fixing some of the problems you had, people wouldn't be so, oh my God, panic mode about what's going on around the Phillies. But since Dave Dombrowski did such a terrible job this offseason besides the Luzardo trade, and even that's had its flaws, you get to this point of Harrison Bader would have been fine if you're platooning him with Marsh and you had the other outfield spot settled in with Castellanos at the other one. But you don't have that, which now puts yourself in a spot you had to have a trade deadline where you got either Suarez or you got Quan for people to sit there and be like, man, we feel really good about this lineup. And the more I look into the stats, like there was a good tweet about OPS plus out of the cleanup spot of all the teams that are in the playoffs. The Phillies were the worst team in OPS plus.
Yeah.
And it wasn't by a little bit. It was by like a good 28 points.
Yeah,
So
I saw
it's
that.
a problem.
Yeah. No, it is a problem. So let me ask you this. Are you thinking they're going to play Bader every day in center field?
I mean, I think the reason why I think they should is only because Brandon Marsh is horrific as a center fielder. His defensive run save is bad.
He's made some good plays recently. He's made a couple of really good plays recently where he ran down balls in the gap, got good jumps. No, I hear you. So if if Bader is going to be the regular center fielder, then what happens in left? Because now they got two left-handers.
Yeah, that's the problem. And even if you brought up Crawford and you were going to do a platoon with Crawford and Marsh, they're both left-handers. Now, you could say at least Crawford in the minor league, and it was only like 72 at-bats, has ridiculous slashes against left-handed pitching. But I don't think you want to bring him up to just hit against left-handed hitters or pitchers. So, like, that's the problem. Like, again, this goes back to you shouldn't have signed Kepler. You should have signed somebody who was a right-handed bat in the offseason.
Yeah, well, they made a mistake. He obviously made a mistake with Kepler. It's an obvious mistake that now they have to clear up. I'm just curious to know where they go now with these guys. Like, if Crawford comes up, he's got to play every day. He's got to play every day center field. I don't think you platoon him with Rojas. 610-632-0975. They bring up Crawford. Rojas is AAA City. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Previously on Unfiltered.
When you talk about
It's 112, Mike Missanelli Show, 610-632-0975. All right, then before we get back to the text board, I mentioned this story a little while ago, and I feel creepy about this. This creeps me out, this story. And it's a ghoulish story, in my view, where dead bodies now can be composted with an average price tag of $5,000. All right, so when you die, you get buried in a coffin, or you get cremated, and they spread your ashes somewhere, or you take an urn home and you put it on your fireplace mantle, or whatever you do with it. I think that's ghoulish enough. But, see, for me, burn my body up, discard it somewhere. I don't care where you do it. You want to take it to the beach? Go ahead. Knock yourself out. Sprinkle it in the ocean? I got no problem with that. I don't want to be buried. I don't want to have a tombstone. I don't need it. But this new trend now, and it's legal in Jersey, and apparently it's going to be legal in Pennsylvania soon. The body, once the body dies, the company that does this, it's a West Coast-based company called Earth Funeral. They wash your body and they wrap it in a biodegradable shroud, and they put it inside a vessel with mulch and wildflowers. After 45 days, the body emerges in the form of enough nutrient-rich soil to fill the bed of a pickup truck. With that soil, apparently, you can sprinkle it anywhere, including in your garden. Ray, are you in?
Personally, no, I don't think I'm going to do this. No.
This guy who was doing the story, or who is choosing to do this, his loved ones will be able to receive small containers of his soil. He thinks it could be romantic for it to be sprinkled over his wife's grave. The rest will be donated to conservation efforts. Although picking up all the soil for a separate planting project is also an option. Ew.
Well, I guess, I don't know.
Ew.
Talking about sprinkling ashes, sprinkling soil.
That's not a new? You're sprinkling in your garden? A loved one?
Well, you were just saying that you could throw you in the ocean for all you care.
Well, I'm not going to put it in my garden. The ocean's gone. I don't want. There's no remembrances at all. Poof. It's gone. It's washed away. It's out. I'd be creeped out to have the remains of a dead body on my tomato plants.
I don't know. I mean, listen, it's not the path I'm going down. Not that I've given a lot of thought to this. Maybe that's short-sighted on my part. Yeah, when I read it, I was like, oh, this is interesting. I could see someone who's very very, I guess, advocates a lot for the ecosystem, is very much into environmental causes, being into this. I don't think I would go down this path. More power to you if you do. It does seem like a kind of interesting way to do things. Yeah, it's something.
It's weird. It's coolish.
I mean, but I kind of get it.
What do you get?
Like, I get if you don't think that you want like the traditional, like, you know, be in the box, you know, get buried that way. And if you don't think that if you think that cremation, you know, and all that is polluting and all that stuff, like, then I guess I see where you're going with this. Like instead of being ashes, I'll be something that's beneficial to the environment.
How do you know it's the remains? Because we already talked about that show. It was on the
we talked about that
HBO,
show.
where, you know, it could be anybody.
Right. Well,
so they'd have to see your body being put in the vessel with the wildflowers and the mulch. You wrap it in a shroud. It could be anybody.
Oh, God. It's just dark and twisted.
I don't know how many people would be in tune with this kind of an idea. It costs like $5,000 to $7,000. Now, a burial costs a lot more than that, right? And a cremation costs more than that, probably.
So both environmentally and economically friendly.
It is, but like, is there any scientific proof that human remains are a fertilizer?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, wait, apparently. Farmers have been composting livestock for years. I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that either. No, oh, wow.
So cows that die on a farm get composted? Somebody's got to. I'm undereducated in this world.
I hope everyone finished their lunch.
Well, so here's a lady who said she did it with her husband, and she now sprinkles the husband around her plants, and it feels like he came home, she said.
If that's the way you want to look at it, that's good for you. Hey, man, that's everybody live the life that they want to live, or and then have the afterlife.
Whoever came
that
up
they
with
choose.
this idea is a genius, really, because I don't know. This seems like a scam to me.
Think it's a scam?
Yeah.
Wait.
Unless I see the body being wrapped and washed and put in the vessel, how do I know who it is?
You're telling me the guy that all week has been flirting with some Belgian dude about 9 million euros thinks this is a scam?
Well, listen, I'm nowhere near getting scammed. This, you're paying money, you're getting back soil. Do you know it's your person? Unless you're there with the process. See the body being washed, see the body being wrapped, and who would want to do that? How do we even know there's a body in there? Could it be just mulch and wildflowers? And what happens to the bones?
No.
Well, these are questions that I ask. In a cremation, the bones, there's some fragment of bones left over. Is this too ghoulish for you?
Very dark subject for me on a Friday. I was looking forward to my weekend. I feel like I've been taken down a path of how this all ends.
The story's in the Philadelphia Inquirer. It's not something I got from the National Enquirer.
Oh, I know. Listen, I saw this story as well. I saw the headline for this story. I was like, oh.
There's efforts to legalize human composting in Pennsylvania as we speak.
And if that's the way you want to go, I guess go for it. Again, I don't think it's my preferred end result here, but...
So Ray, what about that Phillies trade deadline? How'd that work out for you fighting Phils? Well, we might get a lineup soon, so we'll find out if Harrison Bader's in the lineup tonight. Guarantee that my man will close it out, though, tonight. Right? They use him tonight. There it is. Uh-huh. I like it. I want to hear that tonight. Well, it's 106320975. Back after this.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The deadline passes. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. After months of speculation, we finally got the answer as to what the Phillies would do at the trade deadline. On Wednesday, the Phillies acquired closer John Durant from the Twins, and they followed that up on Thursday by making a second deal with the Twins for outfielder Harrison Bader. Dave Dombrowski met with the media following the deadline.
There was no stone unturned, but we felt good with our club. We didn't have a lot of gaping holes. Some of, again, our offensive improvements going to have to come internally.
We'll see if that happens. The Phillies' new additions will be in uniform tonight as they open up a 3-game set with the Tigers at 6:45 with Ranger Suarez on the mound. Prior to the game, Jimmy Rollins and Ed Waite will be inducted to the team's Wall of Fame. The team is telling you to be in your seats by 6 o'clock for that ceremony. And if you're watching from home, be sure to have television on. Be sure to have whatever ability you have to stream it over social media. Have that ready to go at 6 o'clock to get the ceremony. Eagles less than a week away from their preseason opener. Return to the practice field today. Nick Sirianni was under the weather today, did not meet with the media, but was able to make it to practice. This update's brought to you by Extreme Experience. Extreme Experience brings real supercar driving to New Jersey Motorsports Parks August 14th to the 17th. No experience needed. Book now at extremeexperience.com. That's Extreme Experience, both with an X. Space is limited. I'm Ray Dunn in your home for the best birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com.
125, Mike Missanelli Show. If you want to get in, we're coming to it now on the home stretch. 610-632-0975. Phil's back out tonight against the Detroit Tigers. Now, this series kind of been diluted a little bit because the Tigers have fallen off their way a little. Tigers look like they were very strong earlier this year, and now they're starting to leak a little. But the Phillies, Ray Dunn has predicted Phillies will take 2 of 3 against the Tigers this series.
I mean, you can't lose Jimmy Rollins night, so that's one game. And then you just got to win one of the 2 over the weekend. That's bulletproof logic right there. I don't think anyone has any ability to debate what I'm saying.
Okay. Let's take a look at this series, though. Wheeler-Skubal.
That's going to be incredible.
It really will. 4:05 game.
Did you end up getting tickets?
No.
Oh.
I never did. I guess I could.
You should. That's when you. If I wasn't busy trying to get everything in order at the place this weekend, I would have been fighting to be in that building for that game.
Okay. Sanchez against. They haven't listed a starting pitcher. I don't know. Wheeler and Suarez right now are a question mark for me. Now I got to think Wheeler's going to bounce back, but against Skubal. Tough guy to bounce back with.
I don't mean to put too much on a weekend at the beginning of August, but if your big thing with this team is, hey, the starting pitching can carry you, a weekend where you line up these 3 against a team like the Tigers, it'd be nice to see it take 2 or 3 and kind of live up to that.
It would be nice.
Like, again, I'm not telling you I think I'm going to come in here Monday if they lose 2 or 3 and say the season's over. But we do keep saying, hey, the starting pitch is a strength. The starting pitch is a strength. The starting pitch. Well, you got this weekend. You got it lined up this way.
It'll be really interesting next Friday. You know what that matchup is?
Next Friday. Who do they
Wheeler's got to go against Skubal and then DeGrom in the consecutive starts, and they're best buds, Wheeler and DeGrom.
Wow.
How about those 2 nights?
Force Mets fans to watch that.
Yes. All right, so the next... You got 3 against the Orioles, which should not be a problem. 3 at Texas, then 3 at Cincinnati, and then those lousy Nationals. Before you get to the new-look Seattle Mariners, who think they can win something.
Yeah, that might be a 1-3 for me now.
Against Seattle?
Yeah.
At home?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a Sunday game, August 17th, against Washington. That's 11:35 start.
Oh, is that the
Roku game?
Yeah, classic Roku, 11:35. We're inventing time slots.
Explain to me Roku. I don't really understand. What's Roku? Do I have that? Do I get that?
Isn't that the brand of TV?
What is Roku?
Don't they have the app, Roku TV?
It's Roku TV. It's an app?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know what that is.
Roku, yeah, you got myRoku.com. Yeah, I'll help you out before we get there.
Really? Can you get that for free?
I think you get it for free.
Yeah?
That's actually, no, that's probably bad.
Not free TV. Nothing's free.
No, yeah, you're probably paying.
You probably get it for free for 3 weeks and then charge your credit card.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty sure I actually, I'm not going to say it. I definitely did not watch that one above the law the last time.
Oh, really? Well, you poach all the time, man.
No, see, that's different.
You're like Mr.
Password sharing is different. Password sharing is legal.
It's still theft.
It's not theft.
It's theft.
Oh, my gosh. They're making their money.
Stealing a product.
Oh, stop.
You are.
No, they're making their money.
Let's go to the phones. Vicente in Lansdowne. Hola, Vicente.
Hola, amigo Mikey Miss. How are you?
Good. ¿Qué tal?
Oh, perfecto.
Beautiful.
Looking forward for the weekend. Finally, it cooled down, the temperature.
So it did. It's a nice day out there. Nice temperature today.
Yeah. Listen, like the other caller called you earlier about the social engineering, you got to be extremely careful with all these scams. I know you are a lawyer and you're very smart. You have been all through all the court scenarios and stuff. But, you know, your information data is available out there, you know, about where you live, what your phone number is, what your relatives are, starting with Kiera, your lovely, beautiful daughter, right? Angeloni, right?
Correct.
I know where she lives.
Yeah.
I know where you live.
Uh-huh.
And stuff. So people are using that information to fish camp, and little by little get your trust.
Yeah.
And finally.
No, I get it, Vicente. I'm not a dummy. I know this is probably a scam, but I'm taking it to the point where I'm protecting myself. Like, I don't think he can get anything from me that I don't willingly give up. So I'm not willingly giving up my Social Security number. I'm not willingly giving up money to say, like, as soon as that happens and he asks for something like that, I'm out.
All right, yeah. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes.
By the way, I want to congratulate you for your daughter getting married to Mr. Angeloni.
Yeah, yes, our anniversary is just
beautiful.
passed. Yeah. Imagine that. I have a married daughter. It's unbelievable.
She was from an star from Penn State,
That's correct.
With the rain and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't want to.
I got you. I hear
you. Now, regarding the Phillies, I'm very satisfied that we got Johan Duran and the other guy from the Twins as well.
Harrison Bader.
Yeah, Harrison Bader.
Right.
Yeah. But what I was disappointed is that they allowed the Yankees, David Cashman, to get David Bernard from the Pirates.
Yeah.
He's an excellent reliever,
Yeah, but the Phillies got a better one.
I know.
So the Yankees can knock themselves out with Bednar. I don't care. But I care.
Right. So
it's another league.
Was it worth it for the Phillies and Dombrowski giving up? Mitch. What's his name? The pitcher.
Yeah.
Abel.
Absolutely. Mick Abel. Absolutely
Mick Abel.
Worth it. Completely. Yeah. I don't know where he projects in the major leagues. He looks like he's going to be an up and down guy. He reminds me a lot of when they had Gavin Floyd. Gavin Floyd was kind of up and down. He was a prospect, and they finally traded him to Chicago White Sox. He had mild success there, but I don't think Mick Abel is going to be a very successful guy. Certainly not an ace.
I'm concerned about the Padres getting Mason Miller from the A's, the Atlantic.
Yeah, the Padres look pretty strong right now, and so do the Mets. So they're going to have to play well coming down the stretch. But I think this closer really opens up a pretty good landscape for him. Vicente, let me ask you a question. I was saying this the other day. Luis Robert. Why is it Luis Robert and not Roberto?
Because Robert is a last name. It can be Robert or Clemente, Roberto Clemente.
Yeah.
Like this. But,
well, that's Clemente. Yeah, it's not Clement.
Yeah. Well, you can be a Roberto Roberts. Well,
that's what I'm saying. Why is it not Roberto?
Because it's not, the last name cannot be translated. That's what I mean. And the proper name as well. Because my name is, my daughter's name is Alice. And I took it over to Ecuador, and my other relatives, started calling her Alicia. And she put it right there, and my name is Alicia. That's the translation in Spanish. My name is Alice.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. The translation in Spanish is the translation in Spanish. So why would it be Robert? That's an American name.
Correct, yes.
I don't get it, Vicente, and you haven't explained it to me. I tried to get some wisdom from Vicente, a little Latino explanation. I didn't get it. It's a mystery. Luis Robert Junior. What? What's funny? What is funny?
Just the things you fixate on. Entertain me sometimes.
I don't get it. Luis Robert.
Yeah. It's his last name.
It's American. Robert is American. Roberto is Latino.
I don't really have a good answer for you on where the Robert comes
I'm coming to you for an answer of some sort. You're the producer.
Listen, when they trained me for this job, nobody was like, hey, you're going to need to be able to differentiate surnames here.
I don't think there's another example of where you go, Luis Robert. Like, it doesn't sound better if it would be Luis Roberto.
It's not his name. It's not his name.
Well, why isn't it his name? Is the question.
That's not the surname. Surname is Robert.
Why?
Because that's what the family name. That's what the name was that they stuck with.
I don't understand. Was that a name change? Did they anglicize it and go from a Roberto to Robert?
I don't know, Mike. We got Ancestry.com. We got, but while we're busy trying to find the 9 million euros, we'll go back.
Even Vicente was flummoxed by that question. He had no wisdom on it.
It's a flummoxing thing.
610-632-0975. Down the home stretch, I'd like to talk to some people about what you would do with the outfield right now. You got to make a decision on what the outfield will look like with the addition of Harrison Bader. Where are you going? We'll give you the choices after this.
Hi, my name is Phil E., and for most of my sports fan life,
The Phillies did acquire another player yesterday. His name is Matt Manning. Do we have any information on Matt Manning, Ray?
Yeah, so he's going to go down. I think they sent him all the way to single A.
They did.
Actually.
We'll get Dave Dombrowski on this in a second. But who is he, first of all?
Yeah, so he has been with the Tigers for a while. A right-hander, 27 years old. He has pitched just over 250 innings, actually, in Major League Baseball. And this is a reclamation project of reclamation projects.
Was he hurt or something?
He only pitched 5 games last year, so I imagine he's coming off of an injury here. The full story on him. He was a former top 100 prospect back with the Tigers. So obviously there was pedigree there. He spent a lot of time in Major League Baseball, but the, I guess, plan with him is to see if he's got anything left following, obviously, a year in which he didn't pitch a ton.
All right, let's hear from the general manager and his acquisition of Matt Manning, because it's kind of a surprise in this whole thing.
Matt Manning was a premier pitching prospect, high number 1 draft choice, had some success at the major league level, had a good arm, great athlete. He had some success, has not performed well over the last year, but we like some things about him. So what we do, he's basically a gamble. So what we're going to do is we're going to acquire him, send him down to Clearwater, put him in our lab, work with him down there and see if we can help him out at all. We've had some familiarity with him. David Chad was involved, who was here for our meetings, was involved with drafting him. It's one of those it really is a gamble, but we think it's a good gamble for us to take because if we can help him out, there's some positive upside. And he was a well-touted pitcher that also is very athletic, and we'll see if we can help him out.
Put him in their lab.
I love that. The pitching lab, yeah.
What does that exactly mean?
Basically, this team wasn't able to maximize him. We're going to bring him in, see if we could do something with his mechanics, see if we could see something he's not doing, and figure out whether or not he can be good for us. That's the extent of that. I will tell you, this might be one of their, I don't want to say obsession projects with extension, because that's the one thing that stands out with him when you look at like the advanced numbers. His extension is usually somewhere in the like mid-90s percentile across baseball. I would think they think, hey, here's a 6'5" guy with good extension. If we just tweak one thing or another, we can unlock something that hasn't been there. Again, he says it there. He was a top 100 prospect. He did not have a good 2024. He has certainly not had a good 2025 in minor leagues.
No, with good extension, all he has to do is throw 55 feet.
That's what they tell you. Hey, you see Bailey Falter got dealt.
Bailey Falter
yesterday.
did get dealt, yeah.
You're the first person I thought of, Mike.
Yep. Bailey Falter is an example of how I regard pitchers stink. Guys that throw 88 miles an hour. But they have good extension. So the ball gets up on you in a hurry.
That's what
your sister gets up on you in a hurry.
I think that's what they're looking at here when it comes to Matt Manning. I think the good extension. He stunk the last 2 years. We could get a guy that was a top 100 prospect and try and rebuild him into something.
You know, Trey Turner. His name was brought up with Dave Dombrowski out of the blue. I don't know why he would comment on Trey Turner here or why they would ask a question about Trey Turner, but he was asked a question. And here's what Davey said about it. 18. Dave Dombrowski.
Well, from people in our organization that are seeing him play, they still feel he can play shortstop. He's actually, when we drafted him, we thought he would be, wasn't a definitive, but we'd say he's probably as big as he is, more apt to move off a shortstop. That has really changed in the sense that our people feel he can play shortstop and be a big shortstop now. Stolen a lot of bases. He's running well. Now, what will we do as time goes on, because we have a shortstop in Trey that's played very well and is signed for a long time and retains his athleticism, we'll end up weighing that. But we think he can play shortstop.
All right, so that's the question was about Aiden Miller.
Right.
And that was the answer on Aiden Miller. And Trey's name was thrown in there because they still think Trey can play shortstop. I don't know about Aiden Miller playing shortstop. I don't know.
I mean,
do
you think Turner ages gracefully at that position?
No, I don't. Turner may have to get a position switch eventually, but I don't know if Aiden Miller would be the guy to be the shortstop. I think I see him more as a third base guy than a shortstop. I think he's going to get bigger. He's going to bulk up a little bit.
Well, if they, again, I don't know where Bohm falls into their long-term plans. They think he's a guy that they're going to have here for a long time. Then you say, all right, well, Bohm's third baseman, Miller's the shortstop, and Turner, you're going to figure out where he goes.
I think Bohm is a candidate for an off-season trade 2 years from now.
Well, I think this offseason.
Maybe this offseason.
If they don't, and I thought this last year, so maybe I'm just a fool. Maybe this is the definition of insanity. But if they don't make it past the first, make past the divisional series, I mean, I would have to think Cassidy going into last year of his deal, Bohm after this season, they have to reshuffle the deck.
Yeah, they definitely do.
And that's probably where they start, those two guys.
All right, Dave Dombrowski obviously was asked about the Mets. The Mets, they improved. They got a starter in center field where they were weak. They can move Jeff McNeil, who has been dilly-dallying in the outfield. He can be their everyday second baseman now. And they got Tyler Rogers, who's, that stupid submarine style is unhittable to the right-handed batters on the Phillies. So you're going to see him a lot against the Phillies. So he was asked about the Mets and what they did. This is Dave Dombrowski, 20.
Well, we knew what their needs as every club. We have a good pulse of that. Some people in our organization, they put some sheets together for us, and even a month ago, you start keeping track of that. Keeps us updated. So you have a pulse of it all. Of course, you're paying more attention to clubs in your own division, and there were a lot of similarity of our needs. I think it was more a matter that you're keeping track of it to see if they acquire somebody, then you know they're not in that particular. So they're going for a center fielder, where I knew I had a pulse of the guys that might be available that would fit into that category, and kind of knew that if we jumped in well ahead of them, well, they're not going to get that player, even though they might. I know they were talking about some of the guys. So you're very aware of what they're doing, but I don't think we made any moves. In fact, I'm sure we didn't make any moves to prevent them from doing something. It was more because that's what our specific need was, and we liked the players that we got first and foremost to help our club.
All right, let's go position by position, shall we now? Just to examine this Mets-Phillies thing now. All right, so we start at first base. Alonzo Harper is a wash, right?
Yeah.
McNeil is their second baseman. They had been playing Brett Beatty there. He was not a second baseman. So McNeil and Bryson Stott.
Wash?
You got a wash there? Okay. Third base, Ronnie Maurizio, who's starting to find it a little bit, and Alec Bohm.
Yeah, go
Wash?
Go on Bohm.
Bohm? Okay.
Yeah, I'll take
Shortstop, Francisco Lindor and Trey Turner.
I'd take Lindor.
But the numbers say it's kind of a wash this year. Left field, Brandon Nimmo and whoever the Phillies have out there.
I think that answers your question right there.
Cedric Mullins and whoever the Phillies have out there. You're not a big Cedric Mullins guy, no?
No.
Juan Soto and Nick Castellanos.
Juan Soto.
And the DH, Mark Vientos and Schwarber.
Yeah, I'll take Schwarber.
All right, so as it all shake out, it's like even. Now let's go to the pitching staffs. The Mets starting staff by playoff time will be Kodai Senga, Sean Manaea, David Peterson, Clay Holmes, and Frankie Montas.
If you're asking me to compare them to the Phillies starting rotation, I would take the Phillies starting rotation.
Okay, and I would as well. But that's not a bad staff. The relief pitching. Ryan Helsley, Tyler Rogers, Reed Garrett, Gregory Soto. We forgot about Greg Soto in there. Brooks Raley, and the closer, Edwin Diaz, to what the Phillies have.
I would take the Mets.
I forgot catcher. Francisco Alvarez and JT.
I'll take JT.
Okay.
I mean, so here's the concern on the Mets side of things. And it's funny you say we forgot Gregory Soto, because I think they watched Gregory Soto join the organization. They're like, we could use two more relievers. It'd be nice to grab two more relievers at the deadline.
But he can get a left-hander out every now and then.
No, he can. My issue is not so much the fact that I think the Mets have tremendous starting pitching. I do think they have starting pitching that at times has given this lineup fits. Like Manaea and the way he throws, for some reason, they just can't figure him out. Like since he's made that mechanical adjustment, he's been much better against this Phillies team. Because people will point back to 2022, and I'll tell you he's a changed pitcher from 2022. David Peterson, again, do I think he's the second coming of Cliff Lee? No. But he can give this lineup fits at times. Senga can give anyone fits if he's really clicked in and making it work. Like, I don't think they have an overpowering pitching staff from a starting rotation. Do I think that those guys in the starting rotation can get through this lineup twice, limit the damage, and turn it over to a bevy of 5 or 6 good relievers? That's the concern in going against the Mets. That's really the concern for me going against the Mets, and the fact that I don't think in recorded history the Phillies have ever gotten an out against Francisco Lindor.
Yeah.
They have, obviously, but it feels like he just kills them.
I hear you. We still don't have a lineup for tonight, but I'm thinking that with the pitching tonight, Jack Flaherty, maybe Bader doesn't play tonight. Would they throw him right in there against the right-hander?
I would think. I mean,
or would they go left? Would they go Kepi and Marshy?
Oh man, we're gonna get.
Would they give Kepler one last shot? This could be his last shot. against the right-hander, would they play him? Would they have faith to play him, and also play Marsh in center field?
Welcome to town, Harrison. You go sit on the bench.
I'm predicting that they're going to go left against Flaherty tonight.
I can't see him doing it.
I don't think Harrison Bader starts tonight.
I'm taking him to start.
You will?
Yeah. You don't trade for a guy to sit him on the bench.
All right.
Is Kepler here when we come on the airwaves at 10 o'clock Monday?
Good question, man. Do they bring up Crawford? No. This weekend. Kepler will still be a part of this team.
And we think Dubs is the one that gets sent down?
There's no question. Who else would you send down? Well, you could send Rowie.
Could send down.
But Rojas is going to stay for the time being.
I think Rojas stays for the time being. I guess you send down Dub. Well.
All right. Well, anyway, tonight is a big night, Alumni Weekend. Are they going to do the broadcast like they usually do it with all the guys coming in the booth and stuff?
Oh, I bet. Remember, yeah, that doorbell.
Yeah. Yeah, will they do that? No. Didn't they do it in like a lounge area before the broadcast where guys were sitting in with them?
Yeah, no, they open. I think they take that backing of the broadcast thing and back it up and they make it a big lounge thing, yeah. So I think this will be the weekend where they got people filing in and Tom McCarthy's just trying to figure out how to organize the circus of people popping in.
He does a good job with that. That's a hectic situation.
He does. No, I think he does a tremendous job. And it's hilarious to watch as it happens. Like, oh yeah, no, this person's here now.
I love the older guys that come in and maybe played here for a half hour, and they grab some Philly acclaim. Like Robert Person has been in all week, right?
Let me quick find it for you. I got the email of everyone that'll be here this week.
All right, give me who's going to be here.
So, Alumni Weekend for the Phillies. Let's see. Baseball legends return.
Okay, who is it?
Bobby Abreu.
All right, he never misses.
Ruben Amaro.
Okay.
Larry Anderson.
Yeah.
Marlon Anderson.
Marlon Anderson? Really? All right, Marlon Anderson.
Bob Boone. Larry Boa.
Okay.
John Briggs. Steve Carlton.
John Briggs.
Yep, John Briggs will be there.
Oh, my God. Steve Carlson's coming in?
Yes, he's coming in.
Yeah, better stock the wine closet.
Larry Christensen.
Larry LC.
Doug Clemens.
Who?
Local alumnus. Doug Clemens.
Doug Clemens, that's right. He's from Newtown. All right, who else you got?
Rich Doobie's making the trip.
Doo. He was a miserable in the clubhouse he was. Who else?
Mariano Duncan.
Mariano.
Ben Francisco.
No! Ben Francisco!
2009 NL champion Ben Francisco.
Oh, my God. Ben Francisco. Who else?
Pat Gillick.
All right. How old's Gillick now? God. He's
Tommy Green.
Around? T. Green would always be there.
Greg Gross.
Greg Gross, okay.
Cole Hamels.
Cole. He's in town.
Terry Harmon. Ramon Hernandez.
Who?
Ryan Howard.
Ramon Hernandez.
Keith Hughes.
Keith Hughes.
Raul Ibanez.
Keith Hughes is also a local guy. Raul, okay. Raul, now we got something.
Steve Jeltz.
Yeah, he never misses. Jeltz.
Joe Carrigan.
All right, Joe Carrigan. Local guy. Crucky.
Mark Leiter.
All right, Mark Leiter. That's enough. Stay tuned. Unfiltered's coming up next. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for listening, and we'll see who's in the lineup tonight. Harrison Bader and Duran. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Now on 97.
.com.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. It's Bill Colarulo.